The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Wednesday, May 18th, 2022, and this show about aliens begins now. Yeah. Today's a huge day, okay? Because yesterday, for the first time in 50 years, there was hearings about unidentified aerial phenomena and UFOs. No alien talk, but you would assume one comes with the other. No real answers were given, but boy, it feels like the conversation's just getting started, isn't it?
That's right.
And that conversation will continue today with somebody that was in the room where it happened just yesterday. Representative Mike Gallagher out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. He asked a couple good questions yesterday. Now, the Washington Post wrote a opinion article this morning kind of calling out Mike Gallagher for, believing almost that this all could be real. And are they wasting their time talking about Congress and having committee hearings about aliens right now with all the other stuff going on? I haven't seen C-SPAN enough until yesterday. I assume they're wasting their time with a lot of shit. And I feel like we should learn more and more about, what's potentially out there that has much better technology than we could ever have.
Please.
And a question that's been asked like literally forever. What is there anybody out there? We'll ask Mike Gallagher today, 1:15 Eastern Standard Time. He was in there. He's done a lot of research. He was a former Marine. Now he's the fastest congressman in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Wow.
He asked some good questions. Feels like he might be on a little political run as well. Can't wait to chat with him and see what he knows about the UFOs. And hey, is there fucking aliens or not?
What's going on?
Just tell us.
And is Elon Musk one? We thought he was. Is he one?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Makes sense.
Mike Gallagher might have those answers. He might not. He might also be able to tell us what's next in those entire, hearings and chitter chatter like that. Jim Irsay was talking about the moon and the Mars. All these billionaires trying to get to space. Everything's being released from the Pentagon. It feels like it's only a matter of time before we're just dapping up aliens.
Can't wait.
And there might be a couple that we don't get along with that we're going to have to figure out, and that'll be the new big scare thing. Oh, these sons of bitches, they're not friends with anybody. You got to watch yourselves. Like that whole thing will happen. But I'm excited it feels like we are in the precipice of the generation that's going to find out about this at a young age and live their lives with it. So I can't wait to chat with him at 1:15 Eastern Standard Time. Shout out to him for joining us, by the way. Sports Stooges. There's no reason he should be coming on our show. We understand that. And the only other politician that's really come on this show.
Wow.
Well,
he was just trying to do the right thing.
he actually ended up getting on the wrong side of everybody.
Yeah.
Not Big G,
politics.
though.
No, well, I'm just saying, you have a recurring segment on our show during the football season.
Yes.
You're going to win the MVP.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay, so that's like precipice. Like there is a precedent of that, not precipice. There's a precedent of this happening. The last politician that came on this show hit an inside the park home run in a
he
baseball
did.
game.
Yes, he
That was
did.
a great
Himself.
game.
Ended up getting buried by every person in politics.
They all hate it.
Unfortunately.
So we're hoping to break that cycle too.
Yeah.
I like that we only have fast congressmen on.
Yeah, inside the park homers, Congress people only.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If you can score an inside the park homer, that probably means you're under the age of 90.
Sure.
And I don't know much about politics. Feels like there's a lot of those. They all hit bombs, I guess, though. That's why they've been around for so long, I guess. They just hit dingers. They
Either
said
that or
everybody.
throw heat. One of the two.
One of the two.
Played so many games like the mayor.
Anyways, that's the problem. We know nothing about politics. Okay, so
No.
you just heard the extent of really what we understand and what we don't understand. We understand that everybody hates each other. Okay, so if you're on this side, you hate this side. If you're on this side, you certainly hate them right back. Gonzo ended up right here in the middle,
did.
and it was kind of like both of them hating him or whatever.
Yeah, taking shrapnel from both sides.
That's basically all we know about it. But today we're going to get to the bottom of the UFOs more than that fucking House Intel.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Bingo.
He's the one asking the questions though. So does he have the answers? I don't know if this guy's going to have
I feel
any
like
of the
he's
answers.
got knowledge for sure.
Yeah, he has to have more than we have.
Yeah, he had more than the people.
The questions
that
that
they
he
were
was
interviewing.
asking were very
Very
knowledgeable.
good. Very good. Deep, detailed. He also talked about some blue book and then
Yeah.
Yes.
Project Blackbriar?
No,
AFib?
AFib is your heart.
Okay.
You should actually.
You should not have
There's
that.
like an Apple Watch saved my friend's life
Boom.
because his heart did have an AFib situation, and that thing started blinking red, and was like, "Go to a hospital now." Open heart surgery saved his life.
Aliens would help us.
So that's not. He didn't ask that about AFib.
No.
No, but I think it was I don't know if it was the A1, but he asked about this stuff in New Mexico where they had UFOs that crash in alien bodies, and he asked that to them, and they didn't know about it, but he did.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
So-
fascinating. He has done research. He got attacked, though, by some of the punditry of politics, though, for even asking the questions that he was asking. But the questions he was asking is what the internet, I think, has just been trying to uncover for years and years and years. Just a younger, fresh set of brains and questions on things. And there was some squirming from the people that were supposed to have all the answers.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't expect that. I expected them to have, who the fuck am I? I'm somebody that doesn't know anything about this. Just watched C-SPAN for the first time basically yesterday. I thought we were going to get actual answers.
No, I think that's kind of. I mean, we never do. I think that's why. Like when I heard about that, I was like, "Oh, this is awesome!" But ultimately,
Every time it's a
that's what
letdown.
that's what it always is.
So are they not telling the truth? Is there really nothing to it? How come the only Congress hearing that I remember having any significance is Barry Bonds and Mark McGuire and them taking steroids?
Yeah.
Roger Clemens.
That one had actual, that one actually had full, there was a ruling, a judgment, a whole thing. I've never heard of anything else actually doing that. Yesterday, I was like, okay, here we go. We're going to get the answers. Didn't get a damn
We
thing.
did
To
not.
my knowledge, the people that are answering the questions, I believe it's their job to say as much as possible without saying anything at all.
Always? Is that just kind of the
I
thing?
think it's always.
And were they potentially going to end up in jail yesterday, those
I don't
two?
think
I don't
so.
think
It feels like they should now.
So they were not, well,
just saying. I mean, they definitely have the answers, and they didn't give them.
so it's lying. We'll talk to Mike Gallagher.
Yeah, hell no.
Will he be able to tell us about the process too? I feel like
Sure.
35 years old. Maybe this is the year where I learn what the whole thing is over there.
Yeah, once you could be president.
Yeah, well, I guess that's. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just this dude's a rep, right? He's a congressman.
Yep.
House.
He's a He's in the House.
Yes.
The House holds the Congress. The Senate holds the senators.
Yes.
The House holds the representatives. The Senate holds the senators. They come together to make Congress.
Oh,
Boom.
that's cool.
And that's 1/3 of the entire government branch.
That's right.
Because then there's the
Judicial,
judiciary, which
legislative.
is Supreme Court, and then the
The executive,
which is
the prize.
President.
White House. They're the legislative.
Commander in Chief.
So that the two places, Senate and House, they're the ones that are always yelling at each other.
Yes.
They're the ones that are they're stealing the headlines.
Laws and such and bills. Each state gets 2 senators. Each state representatives are based off population.
This guy's on top of it.
Okay, so there's a lot more. There's 50,
There is.
100 of,
The senators.
Yes.
and then there's a shit ton
Yes.
of the
Like 400 something, I think.
of what this
The
guy
reps.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
California's got like 80.
Because you're
Texas has
repping
got a
every
lot.
district and
Yeah.
the constituents. Because I always hear constituents, and that's just
Gotta
in
keep my
shows that I watch.
constituents happy.
435 in the House.
Wow. Holy shit. We're talking one of 435 today.
That's
Let's
right.
go.
What does he know that the other 434 don't? Who knows, but we're excited to find out. Anyone to come on the show, we're appreciative of it. In the third hour, we'll have AJ Galante, former owner of the Danbury Trashers, I believe still owner of the Trashers, founder of the International Ice Wars, their first big heavyweight
Okay.
King of the Rink fighting tournament this Saturday on Fight TV, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Here we go.
Hey, listen. Blue line to blue line, basically, I believe, is what it is. Ice rink is a smaller rink. Guys in hockey pads. They skate right up to each other, and then they just start throwing bombs.
Yeah.
Judge like boxing, and they have a 320-pounder getting on skates.
Big boy.
Buckethead is his nickname. Huge head on this guy. But they're going out there and swinging bombs. I can't wait to hear what they're thinking, how they're expecting it to go. It's happening in Enoch, Alberta, Canada or something.
Okay.
I mean, it's way up there. They are going to try to throw bombs at each other. Hockey fights always get good, and now we're going to have it officiated and judged. I think there's call-outs and all that.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. Travis Levitsky.
Beast.
Buckethead Levitsky.
A Sasky lad.
He is, yeah. He used to play on the Alberta Football League or something like that.
Okay.
Alberta does have the best athletes in hockey if we know anything about Canada.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only hockey teams left are from Alberta in the NHL playoffs.
Oh, you're talking about right now. Yeah, Calgary knocked out Texas hockey the other night. That was a shame. That was a real shame.
It was.
Anyways, we'll talk to AJ Galante, third hour. And Darius Butler will join us here in a couple moments. And we wanted to kind of save the NFL conversation until then because a corner just got paid. I guess. I mean, $7.5 million is a lot of money. A corner just got picked up and added to the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Philadelphia Eagles, if you look at this offseason, hey, big offseason for Coach Sirianni in the entire Fly Eagles Fly bird community over there.
Yeah.
Not only a trade for A.J. Brown on draft night, which is huge. Jalen Hurts and him are going to be hot. Now they actually signed Bradbury, who was released, I believe, from the Giants just like 2 weeks ago out of nowhere. Nobody saw this coming. 2 years ago, had an incredible season. Last season was okay, but the Eagles add alongside Darius Slay in their backfield. They had offensive weapons. Coach Sirianni gets another year under his belt. Are the Birds up to something? Coach Sirianni, whenever you hear that, people are starting to have higher expectations of the Philadelphia Eagles because of the moves that are being made in the offseason, is that something that motivates you and drives you, or does that scare you a little bit? And what do you think about Bradbury as a player, Coach?
No, I don't care about that at all because last year everyone thought I was a fucking doofus. I almost won Coach of the Year. We went to playoffs, and really, Bradbury's a nice player. He's a great piece. I've said it from the beginning. I'm trying to acquire dogs, okay? And that's what I'm doing. A.J. Brown, he's a dog, okay? Bradbury, he's a dog. I'm a dog. Jalen's a dog. Kelsey's a dog. I mean, I got so many fucking pooches around me that, listen,
It's starting to look like
it's starting to look like a dog pond, all due respect to Cleveland. But, no, I mean, if you could win the offseason, yeah, I've won the offseason.
Well, congratulations, Coach. Coach of the offseason for sure.
Yeah, drafted a couple dogs, nonetheless.
Dude, I am very impressed with the Philadelphia Eagles going all in. And I thought about this as, this news came in this morning. Ownership that gets buried and front office that get buried for stinking, it feels like not every time, but as of late, they're going big plays soon as they can. Miami, I mean, they got buried, killed. They're paying to lose games down there.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to spend money on everybody, everything. We're going to try. They were trying to pull off Brady and Peyton as a head coach and quarterback and give up ownership to do that. I mean, that's fucking massively, hey, we're going all in to try to do this. Roseman and them in Philadelphia have been mocked and ridiculed for the way that team has been run post-Super Bowl. I mean, it was a absolute dumpster fire. Here, they're going with Sirianni. It feels like they're trying to go, hey, we're going to make some plays and really try to do this thing. If you're an Eagles fan, you got to be pumped. Years ago, not that many years ago, you're eating horse shit, okay? In the middle of a parade, Super Bowl parade. You're eating it right off the fucking ground, having a time of your life. Rocky's looking better than ever. Everything in Philadelphia is coming up like thumbs up. Then the whole place implodes from within itself. Everything has to turn over. This team stinks. Now, Jalen, is he a guy? They seem to think he's a guy. They're bringing in weapons around him. Sirianni seems to not be a complete doofus, like you said. Seems like he's actually got a whole squad rallied around him. And if you listen to what he's saying, although he says it differently than everybody else, there's some good message in there. Philadelphia Eagles are really going for it. And good for Roseman.
Yeah.
Good for Roseman.
Eagles are crushing it. And there's that stat, excuse me, where the NFC East division leader, they've never had a back-to-back in 17 years. So they'll probably do it.
Sigs.
Maybe.
You need that.
Too too many packs. Might have brought one home.
You need to cut it off. You need to cut that back.
To your point, and it feels like when Joe Douglas went to the Jets, he got all the credit for what he did with the Eagles and blah, 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 and everyone was calling Howie the accountant, and now he's like, you can count on me to fucking add some dogs.
That was an accountant joke?
yeah.
Good.
3 years of fucking accounting, okay?
And they have, by the way, counted on Howie Roseman to kind of turn this thing around. They had to take a big leap of faith. Ownership, who owns?
Jed? No.
The Eagles?
Lurie?
Yeah, Jeff Lurie.
It is.
So he had the team with literally just Howie Roseman over Doug Peterson, Joe Douglas obviously gone, everything, Carson, literally everything around Howie was not happy with everything that was going on. Allegedly, we don't know the full story. Will we ever? Probably not, because we don't fucking learn anything anymore about anything until like 15, 20 years later when we'll all probably I'll probably be dead by then, but you boys will be thriving and, doing good things. But everything around, so Lurie had to go all in with Howie. And I assume there was times where that was not an easy decision to be made or necessarily the most, favored decision, probably even in Lurie's family and people around him in his circles. Now Howie's really building up a roster. Now, does it mean diddly squat what you do in May? No. Can you win the Super Bowl in May? No. But it feels like they're trying their best to win each month here, making moves, trying to make their team better, filling holes, bringing some, players that are accomplished. I'm happy for the fucking Eagles fans. Like, very, very happy. And if it's anything like Bradley Cooper's little book thing.
Oh, yeah. Silver Lions playbook.
Yeah, that one. And that's literally how everybody is everybody I've met from Philly is an Eagles fan is kind of like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like kind of live and die with the birds and the green. Good for them getting what appears to be a team that cares again.
Well, and there's like some teams you can look at even in the past 10 years that have kind of changed. Like the Cardinals weren't always top tier, and it feels like now they've gone all in, went after guys, and kind of turned that whole entire thing around with Kyler and Cliff. I mean, the Chargers even. Like they had Phil Rivers, but they never got over the hump, and now they got Herbert.
And remember, Spanos was getting buried.
Oh, yeah.
And now they're going I mean, this feels like it's a thing because you got to remember at the end of the day, humans at the top, which is why I think the Packers need a fucking owner.
Oh, bad.
It's never going to happen. But, I mean, I agree with you.
Yeah.
But also,
the buck stops here. There's a couple of those where it's old buddy for the Giants. Now, it did not work out. It did not work out.
Not at all.
But 2 years back, we heard old buddy from the Giants.
John
Gettleman.
Mara.
John Mara. Yeah.
Mara say he was sick of his rich friends asking him why the Giants were bad. So he would go to these little social gatherings and galas, and they'd have their shrimp cocktails and their black tie affairs, which I only can guesstimate what it is like from like Ace Ventura Pet Detective when he goes in there looking for Snowflake the dolphin and there's actually a shark. He said when he was walking around these super billionaire events, all anybody would ask him is why his team stunk. Not that he was successful and have fun. So he invested a lot of money. The Giants last free agency spent a lot of money. Wide receiver, tight end, corner, I think.
D-tackle.
Tried their best to go all in. None of it really worked out.
No.
They stink. They got to fire their coach. Now they're on to another one, and hopefully they'll be able to do it. But it feels like when these owners kind of get pressed and kind of mocked and ridiculed, not only by their friends, but publicly about their team stinking or tanking or forever being bad, they do respond. Not every time, but it does feel like that happens more often than not. So that's good news for teams that are currently in a dumpster fire, right?
I mean, I guess I don't know, but like you said too, like how often do these teams go? Like, if
look at Haslam and the Browns.
Yeah. But if you don't win a Super Bowl, I mean, I guess it's different with a quarterback. But like, if Jalen has a bad year or like doesn't have the kind of year they're expecting, where he takes another like Josh Allen like step, then it's like it's kind of. I don't want to say it's all for naught, but it's like, the temperature is going to be very different then than it is right now.
I concur completely. And if he doesn't have a good year, maybe they just go get another quarterback to kind of fill in and hope. Maybe it's a veteran, by the way. I don't know how they'll be able to fit it all in. He's an accountant. I'm sure he's able to manipulate the salary cap. But I keep going on. Kroenke. Look what Kroenke did with the Rams when they were getting killed for leaving St. Louis and everything was bad. They invest heavily in the team. Let's go win. It feels like this is a trend where the ownership now that you can hear more directly from your fans, you can hear more directly from people. We're in a more connected world than we've ever been. And I think the onus is kind of falling on some of the ownership as well from the public outcry of like, hey, I've been a fan of your fucking team for 30 years. You haven't known that for like 25 of the years because you had no idea that I existed because I couldn't get to a game. It would be nice if we didn't stink anymore. It would be really nice if we didn't stink anymore.
Look at Irsay.
Yes.
Like, I think when they first got Carson Wentz, a lot of people would have been shocked if it's like, hey, this is basically a one-year deal. Like they were expecting that, but it's like, hey, this team should have went to the playoffs. We didn't. I'm embarrassed. Like, shit needs to change right now. Like, not, hey, we'll give Carson another year in the offense. We'll see how it goes. It's like, okay, nope, this doesn't work. Go get me Matt Ryan. Like,
I'm happy that we are in this time.
Yeah.
This is a great time to be an NFL fan if these ownerships are just going to continue to go all in. Now, there'll always be...
Don't.
Of course.
Yep.
Don't. Sheila Fordham is building a foundation.
She got booed out of the stadium at halftime.
She did.
Well, she didn't deserve that.
By the way, I don't think she did either, but I do believe that's the first time the Lions fans were able to acknowledge the Ford family. She was the first one ever to say, I'll walk out there in the middle of the stadium on the 50-yard line, put a podium in front of me. I'll speak right to these people. I have nothing but respect for it.
Yes.
MCDC loves her.
Yeah.
Spielman loves her, I believe. Everybody seems to love her, so I'm with it. I think she's turning it around. Good for her. But for a long time, that Ford family did not care that the Lions stunk. Not at all. No.
It was their fault. They are the problem. The Lions stink so bad, but that's what Sheila's for. We're turning it around. This is our decade.
This is our decade.
Yeah. Okay.
What if it is, by the way?
No.
Probably not.
Jimmy from the Colts guaranteed too. So there's not.
So it's going to be the Colts decade.
Yeah, Colts decade probably the Patriots. But, I mean, that's the difference with the Giants, is that the Giants have another team in their state with the Jets, and it's like, okay, the Jets are making moves. If we don't hurry up, we're all of a sudden going to fall to the number 2 team in our own goddamn city.
Bro, they did make moves, though, last year. That was the thing that that we chatted about earlier. It was like the Giants were trying. It felt like they were really trying to, like, all right, let's just throw whatever Mara could do. I could throw money. They overpaid a couple people. I'll just throw money at the problem because I'm sick of all this talking about my team stinking. And when those don't work out or it doesn't work out and you're in turnover, you have a new head coach in the whole thing, which, by the way, he might be a guy.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know if he's going to be a guy to be able to turn the whole thing around, but it feels like we are in the era of ownership not being content with their team continuing to stink, which is good news, right?
And I had to look it up to be clear, but you know, the Eagles may be in on Jalen Hurts, but it may not. But that trade with the Saints where everyone was like, what is that or whatever, they did get another first-round pick for next year. So they have a 15th and an 18th overall probably for next year.
So if they want to package those.
To move up to get one of the Bryce Young or
CJ
Stroud or Slavis or whatever the fuck his name is from Kentucky. You know?
Or JT Daniel.
JT Daniel.
From West Virginia University.
Kid in Miami.
I'm worried about that one, by the way. JT Daniel, West Virginia. We'll come back to this conversation later. Not because I think JT Daniel is going to do bad, but how do you end up at West Virginia?
Yeah.
Good question.
He loved the weapons.
He did. He said the weapons were good.
That's why. How'd they get those weapons?
Guy's a stud. Well, I can't wait to see what he does at West Virginia, but I feel like he's going to win it all. Can't wait to watch him win it all.
Hell yeah.
Let's go ahead and jot this down, though, if anything happens that I knew.
Yep. You knew what was going
Predicted
on.
it.
Yep.
Joining us now, a man who went to UConn. That team stinks.
Terrible.
Dead, I think.
Bad.
bad.
Aren't they D2 now?
I'm not 100% sure.
Should be.
Might be NAIA. I'm not 100%
pulled
sure.
the program.
But the thing about it is their all-time leading passer just signed a deal to remain at ESPN, and now he's calling NFL games for ESPN. Joining us now, former teammate of Dan Orlovsky, which I'm sure he is excited to be introduced as, 9-year NFL vet, co-host of the Man to Man podcast, one of the smartest football brains I've ever encountered. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius Butler.
Yo, what up, fellas? Hey, congrats to my guy Dane. You didn't have to bury us like that, man. You didn't have to do that.
Hey, you guys used to be good, man. It was a lot of fun to, see those teams fly around. Used to kind of handle it, but everything has kind of gone to shit. Now, listen, there's
Jim Moore, we got the program back. We're trending. We're going back in the right direction. All right, we'll get back there sooner or later.
It's too cold, right? Don't you think? Too cold?
It's cold. It's in the Northeast. It's a tough. We're independent, so it's a tough area to recruit, especially without being in the Big East like the old days. But Moore figured out, man. He's had success in his past. NFL, UCLA. He'll figure it out. I got faith in him.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. A lot of things stacked against him right there.
Yeah.
The NIL might be able to help him out, I guess, but they're taking away any ability to just pay people to go to play anyway.
Right. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. West Virginia's in an interesting spot too, D-But. We've been we kind of got worse every single year these last 3 years. That's not supposed to happen, I don't think, D-But.
Hey, it's not. Those Big East days, those are some prime years. Rutgers, West Virginia, Pitt.
Louisville.
We got to bring the Big East back, man.
BC.
Louisville.
Hell yeah.
Syracuse even had a couple of years here and there. It was some Cincinnati.
Hey, who was the running back from?
USF.
Yes, USF had a couple of dogs. They used to run like 4 threes. The entire defense used to just run 4 threes at USF. Who was that running back for Louisville? He's like 260, 270.
Michael Bush.
Michael Bush.
Yeah.
He's a
Awesome
dog.
quarterback. He was a beast. He was a monster.
Him and Braum, I think, were on the same team back then.
Yeah. Harry Douglas. Heredia. They had Barnage, too, tight end. They had a squad over there.
Harry ran one right by me on a kickoff. I think it was opening kickoff. Right.
I hated Harry in college. We still might have. I need to holler at him. Yeah, he hit me in the nuts. He hit me in the nuts one time.
Whoa.
Spit in one of my teammates' face.
Whoa.
Dog.
dog.
Yeah,
He
kind of love this
very
guy.
dirty.
Yeah, he ran
Dirty
right by
dog.
me too. I saw he didn't spit on. Well, I don't know. He might have too fast. The whole way all worked. That Big East was awesome, and the Big East
was.
basketball tournament was awesome too. And then everything just kind of folded. I don't
It's just the
understand.
Middle East now. Medium East.
Tony.
What's that, Bell?
It's the Medium East
Tony,
now.
wrong term.
What is that all about?
Jeez.
It's not the Big East anymore. It's the Medium East.
Why is that? What are you saying?
Fucking, what do we got in the Big East now? Butler.
Villanova, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Creighton.
well, that,
Seton Hall.
yeah.
It's a basketball conference.
Yeah.
St. John's fucking still got it, right?
Yeah.
They're still hooping.
Yeah.
Alma
Big
bad.
East is dead, huh? What is the deal?
Dead.
Big East is dead. I don't like it. All right, let's move on. Let's talk to the NFL.
Good news for us.
Bradbury going to the Eagles. This continues an offseason where the Philadelphia Eagles are investing in the team, just a couple years removed from Howie Roseman being like the most hated front office person in a city in which he's a front office of. How do you feel about the move? Do you like this for Bradbury opposite of Slay? What are your entire thoughts on the whole process? And how many teams do you think were interested?
I love the move. I saw a report that said it was 11 teams that were interested. And, the Giants didn't do him any favors, obviously, by releasing him at this point in the year. But, they were doing business on their end, trying to get a trade done, which a lot of teams were in those conversations as well. And last time I was on here, I think that was when the news came out that he was released. But I like him, man. He's still in the prime of his career, I think. He's on a one-year deal, so he'll definitely be motivated to go out there, ball, and get another bag. As you saw, Jair just got paid yesterday in Green Bay, or the other day in Green Bay. So he's motivated. He's on the opposite side of D. Slay. They've had a tremendous offseason all around the Eagles. Got A.J. Brown on draft night. We got Jordan Davis in the first round, and Kobe Dean the third. They've been making it. Hassan Reddick off the edge. So Roseman, man, he's going all in. And Hurts, they had this team in the playoffs, and nobody had him going into the playoffs last year. So, I mean, might be worth the fly to take him to win that division this year.
Nobody has won back-to-back in the NFC East for the last
17
Wow.
years. Okay, so that thing's wide open, has been wide open, even though it appears as if one roster is always more stacked than the others every single season.
Yep.
Every single season, the Cowboys are in the Super Bowl
Oh, yeah.
and have a much better roster. Haven't had back-to-back winners of the NFC East in the last 17 years. So that thing's open. I feel like Sirianni, Roseman, and all of Philadelphia realize that. And the fact that they're going for it, D, but I like. And I started thinking about this. Roseman was getting killed. They go all in. Lurie had to have gone all in with him. Stephen Ross in Miami, they were getting killed. They go all in. You go to, like, the history. Kroenke, whenever he left St. Louis, went to LA, got killed, they go all in. It feels like when some of these owners and front office people get, like, publicly insulted or their fan base is able to reach them and tell them that they hate what they're doing, they answer and they respond by at least trying to go all in. I like that for the NFL, D-Butt. Do you sense that? And do you... Yeah.
Yeah, a lot less patience these days. We were playing, guys would come in and coaches would get a few years to turn things around, quarterbacks. And now, people, it hurts. Tua, if they don't get it done this year, they're out of there. Like, that's kind of the mindset all around, and that's kind of seeped into these buildings, I think. And it depends on everybody's situation. It's always different. The Eagles were able to kind of make a lot of these moves. They still got a quarterback on a rookie deal. Same thing down in Miami. But these teams got to figure it out and figure it out fast. I heard you guys talking about the Giants before I hopped on. They got to figure it out too, because it looks like, Daniel Jones has been playing well. You got Daboll coming over from Buffalo, so they may turn things around there. But I love to see it, man. It's great for NFL fans. This is what we've been doing on Madden our whole life. Go, trade, block it, get it all in here, go up, max the salary cap out, figure it out. So I love to see it, man.
Hey, that was a great out right there. You're right. Yeah. It is, the fantasy football mindset almost. Like, hey, this roster does not need to remain the same. But I think you have to keep the pillars, right? I think how many core people you think you need to have on offense, defense that you can build around? Is it just positional, or do you think it's actual quantity?
Man, it's position, because as you know, everything is separated. We spend most of our time separated in our individual, silos in our meeting rooms. So you need strong leaderships in those different meeting rooms, and then on the opposite sides of the ball, and then the third phase of the game on the special teams part. So I think you need like a special teams ace, someone that keeps everybody going on that side of the ball, and then defensively, offensively, at least 2 or 3 guys. And ultimately, you got your own guys, homegrown, drafted. Darius Leonard, Quentin Nelson. You draft those guys,
Jason
you pay
Kelce.
those guys, you keep them in the building, and they kind of pass, the culture down and around the locker room. That's ideally how you want it. Then you get free agent pieces and bring them on. Like the Eagles have done this offseason, like the Saints have done, bringing in a guy like Tyrann Mathieu, obviously with championship pedigree, knows the area. Same with Jarvis Landry on the other side. So it's different ways to do it, but when you bring veterans into your locker room, they got to be able to fit in because there's a lot of egos in that building, as you know. They got to be able to fit into whatever that culture is. Young guys got to be able to step up in leadership roles early. We had Andrew Luck come in. You're your first overall pick. You're the leader. You're one of the captains early. You got to figure it out. You know, it's a locker room with Vinny, with you, with Stanzo, Robert Mathis, Reggie Wayne, and we're looking at a guy, 22, 23 years old to be one of the leaders. So it's tough. But the guys that are making the decisions, men and women that are making the decisions, they got to check all the boxes, make sure they're making the right ones.
Andrew Luck watched Adam Vinatieri kick for the Amsterdam Admirals when he was like 8 years old or something like that. He got like an autograph with him and a whole picture. I think it was like a whole thing that happened. That's why he shouted out Vinny in his like retirement press conference or whatever, because I think he was an actual fan, soccer player, and he met him when he was a kid. I don't know if it was 8. It was definitely when he was a kid though. So then he gets in the locker room and now Vinny and Luck are like captains. Vinny's 40 years old.
Yeah.
He's 22. And like Luck was a super nice guy, like the nicest guy of all time. I honestly believe too nice of a guy in some situations. In my eyes, to be a quarterback, there were some situations where I wish he would have seen Peyton Manning operate. Like I wish he would have seen Peyton Manning say, hey, we're not doing that. Like just because that's how you should be and can be of a quarterback. But when you're 22, it's difficult. But as you get older, you kind of become the person everybody looks to and looks at. And I said Jason Kelce because that's probably the person in Philly that they're relying on.
Yep.
And then Cox on the defensive side, right? They're like, hey, these are the two guys we keep around. Then they hand over the game, hopefully, the way you are as an Eagle or as you are as a Colt. And Chris Ballard said, we want to build this culture and then we'll bring people in. And how about hitting on Quentin Nelson and Darius Leonard, same fucking draft class?
Same drafts. And Braden Smith, too, I think, in that same class. So, I mean, lights out. And like you spoke on Kelce, even a guy like that, a center who's at another leadership position on the team, they drafted his replacement. And I'm sure I saw Kelce doing some of the coverage. I saw, a replay of him doing some of the coverage from that draft. And the way he spoke highly of the guy that they drafted, I'm sure he's going to pass that game down. He's going to pass that culture to his mentoring him in a sense and pass it down in that locker room. So they're in good shape out there in Philly, man.
He said that he actually was watching film for Howie.
Yeah.
He said he was actually a part of the scouting, and he said, this is the guy I think that is the best or whatever. He said for the last couple of years they've had me do that, and he basically said I didn't really.
That's smart.
Yeah, he basically said I didn't really see anybody the last couple of years, but this guy, this guy is the guy or whatever if you're there to do it. That speech he gave was really cool in the moment, live there. I think it was on Bleacher Report.
Yeah,
he was with Lefko, right?
Yep.
Lefko's a diehard Eagles fan as well, so it just kind of worked out like that. I love. What are your thoughts on the mentor thing? I'm sure we've talked about it before. I don't remember your answer because it's becoming a full conversation in Tennessee. Sounds like Titans fans, by the way, are done with Tannehill. Not all of them, but there is a contingency of Titans fans. I've dabbled and sniffed around on Titans Twitter that are like, give us Malik, okay? This guy is our next guy. Get Tannehill. They just paid Tannehill $100 million like 2 years ago. That is a wild scene down there. What are your thoughts on the whole mentoring thing, D-Butt?
I mean, it's one of those things where I feel like it depends on how you wire it. And I personally coming in as a young guy, I don't want a guy mentoring me unless he really wants to do it.
Hey, Kyrie, hold on. D-Butt. Kyrie kind of spoke about this too. Kyrie said when he was at the Cavs, we had OGs and everything. I wanted to go one-on-one and fucking beat everybody. Some young guys, by the way, aren't necessarily like, I would like you to teach me everything. Some young guys have that moxie of like, okay, I got my own shit here, So it's an interesting debate to even have that people act as if every young guy wants to be taught and coached by the older player. That's not necessarily always the case, which I think is what you were getting to. I'm just saying it's in every sport, I think, as well.
It's not at all. And they're in meeting rooms. They're doing the same drills. I'm sure if he asks, Ryan a question or asks the coach a question, he'll give him an answer. But I didn't have a problem with Ryan's answer at all. Tannehill saying, it's not his job to mentor Malik. It's not. It's his job to, be the starting quarterback, hopefully. Go out there and do everything in your power to get that job. And obviously been in those meeting rooms, been in practices. There's going to be questions that you answer for the young guy. But I feel like mentoring a guy is going above and beyond. Like I had mentors in my locker room coming into the Patriots. Guys playing on the other side of the ball, guys who played different positions, but that's just who they were. That's just what they wanted to do at whatever point in their careers. And I went and did the same thing in my career. I had Malik Hooker. My 9th year, I was moved to free safety. They draft Malik Hooker top 15 in the draft. You know what that writing on the wall is as a pro, but that didn't change, my relationship with him. I still mentor him, showed him the game, taught him how I break down quarterbacks, how he does it, and then he does things. He took some from that and then does things his own way. But it really depends on how you're wired, what you want to do, but it's not on every guy. And you don't want every guy mentoring you as well. So I had no problem with that, especially with quarterbacks, man. Even with DBs, we're kind of different. We need each other to an extent. Like quarterbacks, like, this is my shit. This is my huddle. These are my guys. Like, so the further along I'm mentoring you, the quicker I bring you along. The only place you are behind me right now is between the ears. Physically, Malik probably has all the tools that Tannehill doesn't have. So the faster I bring you along, the faster I'm up out of here. So I had no problem with Tannehill. I feel like that was his real honest answer. I had no issue with it.
Yeah, and I didn't think there was any ill intent in the sound in which he delivered it either. Like, it wasn't like a fuck that guy. Yeah, it was like, hey, I just got out of a dark place, he said. After that last game, I just got out of a dark place. I had to go to therapy, he said, to get through it. And now I'm back, and I'm, like, feeling good. It's like, yeah, man, we're in the same meeting. I got a lot of shit to figure out myself right now. It feels like what Tannehill was saying. And
you're the 1 seed. You got sent home in, your first game, and you're looked at as probably, I know I'm going into the game as a defensive player. It's like, hey, let's make Tannehill beat us. So if you're that guy, the first thing on your mind going into April, mini camps and OTAs is not, let me mentor the 3rd round pick. Come on, fuck out of here, man.
It's funny you said you had mentors on the other side of the ball, because everybody just assumes it's always going to be in the same room and everything like that. But some people, like to your point, aren't wired like that. Like Dallas Clark, big mentor for me. Tight end, obviously, he hates punters. He's big mentor. Joseph Adai, I hung out with Joseph Adai a lot. He helped me immensely off the field. Vinatieri, I was lucky. So I think us just looking directly in the same.
Great locker room.
Man, great locker room over there. We had a great. Charlie Johnson was this left tackle we had too out of Oklahoma State, big guy. He and I had plenty of beer together. He was awesome. He was like we had such a good group. It was a bunch of older folks, We had a bunch of old guys in there. And Yeah, so I was very lucky to kind of get in there, even though I was only 22 years old. And I think I was the dancing, clown.
Yeah. Drink the beer.
Here's a new entertaining piece. But I think every time we kind of try to pigeonhole people into their leadership roles being in their building, like you just reminded me, I've never thought about that or talked about that, but it's like, yeah, like a lot of people that I learned from were nowhere near specialists, So it's like, I think that expectation is wild. I think that's a wild expectation.
It's some people who are kind of, everybody's not built to be a mentor. That's more work. People got their own lives, their own kids, their own wives, whatever at home. Like, people don't want to do that. But like you said, those people, went out of their way, and they probably naturally, you guys probably had similar interests. I had Kevin Falk, Vince Wilfork, Randy Moss. We played video games all the time. I used to call, hey, man, I'm on a video game right now, Randy Moss. Hey, I swear to God. You know what I mean? But it was cool, and it was, any question you had, Sean Springs, Lee Biden, so many guys that went out of their way to show me the road, show me things,
Randy cook you? Hey, Randy.
On and off the field. What's that?
Yeah, Randy beat the hell out of you in video games or what?
Oh, no, we would play, man. We would go back and forth. Big Call of Duty. That was a big Call of Duty locker room. Mayo, Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis. Like we had a tight locker room on both sides. Everybody hung out. And, we had, like I said, similar interests off the field.
Yeah, me too, by the way. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, that helps. I think that helps, by the way.
That's a lot.
Clint Session, what a legend, by the way. That guy.
Home team.
Yes. Yeah.
That's home team, yep.
Yeah, what a guy. I was walking through a parking lot, going to a place. This was before rookie year, OTAs or whatever. Heard about this place to go stop at and go to. Walking through a parking lot. There's a tinted out, murdered out Yukon parked right here. See the window go down like half an inch. And I obviously see the window cracking, but I'm going to meet some people. I'm very new to town. And I hear Mountaineer. And I'm like, Mountaineer? What the fuck? Who'd be calling me Mountaineer? They're not talking to me. Mountaineer. And I turn, and it's all the way down. It's Clint Session sitting there. He's like, hey, we have a couple. And he mentioned a couple people we have in common. So I knew exactly what he was saying to me. And he was like, I'm Clint or whatever, man. I was like, I saw you at workouts. He was like, here, let's go in here together or whatever. And it was like, from that day on, it was like, okay, I would have never expected fucking a guy from Pitt, right?
Yeah.
Clint Session, middle linebacker, to be one of the guys who's like, hey, here's some stuff, here's some other shit. I just think it's more natural. I think people try to force it. But if it's an interesting thing, though. But you have to learn from older people in the NFL. You have to watch. You have to be a sponge. I assume that's in every sport, D-Bud.
You have to. You don't learn so much, guy. And most of the times it's just watching. It's not necessarily asking questions. Sometimes it is asking questions, but it's watching. Watching how guys go through drills, watching how guys, warm up or what are they doing in the training room? Why are they early? Or some guys will say, hey, I come in and how do you watch film? That's the thing. You can watch 10 hours of film a day, but if you don't know what the hell you're watching, you're not getting any better. So Sean Springs literally set me down and showed me formations, showed me, okay, every time, what are you going to pick off? What player are you going to make this week? I'm like, shit, all of it. I can cover all of it. Like, no, that's not how it works in this league. So he literally showed me formations. And you go across the league, these coordinators bring their same playbook, same plays. And I went to a game like, okay, I know if I see this formation and this guy's here, they're running this route or this route. And that's how you make plays. But you have to learn from the OGs. Coaches, they only got so much time to implement basically their, curriculum, basically just like teachers. And then the OGs got to kind of bring you along the way.
That first regime here in Indianapolis, Gary Brackett was basically on the field coaching the linebackers. Murph was there. Obviously, he puts in a strategy, but Gary was coaching. Dallas was coaching. Peyton was coaching. It's literally, when you have that, obviously, that's what everybody is hoping to have at one point in their building. Some people will be able to continue to have it. Some teams will continue to boo their owner at halftime.
That's right.
Ty Schmidt, your question?
D-Bud, you mentioned Jair Alexander, and I think I forget last year because their defense was so good, but he got hurt in like week 4 or week 6 and missed everything until I think he played 9 games in the playoffs. With him getting that massive contract, how hard is it for a guy like that to kind of get like reacclimated in the defense? Because the Packers had their best defense in probably like 10, 15 years last year. Like, how difficult will it be for him to get back in? Or would you see some of these other guys having to like greatly change what they were doing last year?
I think he's going to be good. He's going to fit right in. He's a top, when he's healthy, he's a top 3 cornerback in the league year in, year out. You brought in Rasul Douglas, who had a tremendous year. You drafted Stokes in the first round. He had a great year as well. I think it's really going to be on, those guys. Like, how are the coordinators going to break up that playing time? Like, is somebody going to get traded? Somebody going to rotate in? That's going to be the question mark there. But you just gave Alexander, I think he'll make 42.5 in the next 12 months. So he's going to be in there. He's going to be all right. They're going to make sure he's good. And now it's about the other guys, because it's different being a starter and then coming in and playing, 35, 40 snaps a game as opposed to knowing you're going to be out there down in and down out. But I think Alexander will be all right. It's going to really be on Douglas. But Douglas really, because I would think, you just drafted a guy first round. He played great. So you're probably going to keep him out there, let him keep learning. And then you just paid Alexander, who's also a draft pick, and developed to an All-Pro. So now Rasul Douglas got to figure out what they're going to do with him.
It feels like, depending upon who signed the last contract, people who are kind of casual NFL fans say, do you see how much money they're paying insert position? You see how much money they're paying offensive linemen after an offensive lineman new deal comes. You see how much money they're paying wide receivers after a new wide receiver deal comes in. After this Jair Alexander deal went through, they go, do you see how much money they're paying corners right now? Not all corners, right, are going to get the big bag, but how many you think in the league are there that are like guys that are, number changers? How many guys in the league you think will command and demand that much money?
It's kind of, I guess it's less about the guys. I would say probably 7 or 8 in that range. But the NFL in general, the defenses in general have kind of changed philosophies a little more with having more too high safeties, having more safeties back, and kind of making offenses go what we used to call the long hard way. You make offenses go 10, 12, 14 play drives. Those are hard drives to sustain as opposed to, just getting a big play, getting these chunk plays. So more defenses are going to too high safeties, which take less pressure, which take more pressure off of the corners. So the corners have to kind of do less. They're not on islands as much. But when you do have a guy like Alexander or Xavier Howard or Ramsey or Denzel Ward that you can say, okay, I can isolate him over here. We can go single high, or we can put this guy over here. That gives you more freedom as a defensive coordinator, as a play caller. But it's not that many guys walking around the league right now. And then you combine that with the different systems that are being played. So it'll probably get less and less, honestly. But I hope not. I like my corners getting paid. Receivers are damn near the 30-a-year mark. Corners are still 20, 21 right now, so we need to bump our number up.
I think all numbers are going up with the money continuing to roll in.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
I was thinking about that because I think Jair Alexander got paid. What day of the week? Do you remember?
Monday, I think. Yeah.
Monday gets paid the other day. I get a message immediately from somebody at the WWE who's just a casual fan that goes, "You see how much fucking money they're paying?" And it's like, no. I think everybody's getting paid more money. Like as we go, I think rising tides will lift all boats or whatever the hell it is. But I think there's only a few of those. You said 6 to 7 of those guys in the league right now?
Probably about 7, 8. And corner is one of those positions where, you can have a good 2 years and you just fall off a cliff too. So it's hard to sustain that year in and year out. Because just like we have the book on quarterbacks and receivers, they got the book on us too. What are the things he struggled with? Can we put him in tight formations? Does he bite on double moves? Diggs, for instance. Diggs gave up a ton of yards last year, but he had 11 picks. I'll take that as a coordinator. Now, you go out there and give up those yards, you only have 5. You're looking at a completely different season. So can he sustain that type of success as far as ball production, and can he limit, giving up those big plays and doing things like that, which I think he can. He's young, still fairly new to the position. But I'm excited about this crop of corners, the old heads and the young guys that are in the league.
Diggs would get killed by one sector of the internet. Every pick he got, that's awesome. Does that make up for it? And it'd be a screenshot of him chasing somebody and it being like,
yes, it does make up.
Yeah, I think so. The ball is the program, pal.
Yeah,
the ball is the program. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, but when you were in New England, were there clear coordinators when you were there? Because right now the whole entire conversation is about Patricia and Judge coaching the O-line and the quarterbacks, but them both calling offense maybe, or because there's no offensive coordinator?
Actually, no. There weren't clear. It wasn't a clear coordinator when I was there. Nobody had the title. I think Dean Pease was 1 year, and then once he left, I want to say Patricia was like the voice, but he didn't have the title. And then maybe a year or two later, somebody got the title. But no, it wasn't a named defensive coordinator. But it's usually a voice, the guy who conducts the meeting. I think it was Dean Pease first year, then Patricia the second year. But that was surprising. I saw Joe Judge and Patricia being on the offensive side of the ball. Definitely surprising that that's the direction they're going to go this year. But, if it's one guy I'm not going to doubt, it's Belichick.
Hey,
so,
how long do we do that for, Darius? Because I'm doing the same exact thing. Dan Orlovsky says he's most worried about not having an offensive coordinator in Mac Jones here or whatever. Ninkovich says, who better to teach this guy than Bill Belichick? Yeah. But then the thought is like, what if this doesn't work out? Are people going to say like Bill has just lost his mind? He's a madman. Like how long do you think he has? How long do you think he has? Like they're obviously successful last year. Yeah. But what is the expectation in New England? Like you have to make the dance.
You have to,
and then you have to go.
It's championship, or it's a failure of a season if you don't win the championship. That's the standard in New England. And Belichick has obviously evolved and dominated for 2 decades, and obviously had Brady for most of that run as well. It's tough. It's tough to sustain that type of success, especially in a league that's always changing. Ernie's out of there too. I saw him do the schedule release, but Ernie's not in the building. So I don't know how long Bill has. He's doing things differently.
Is Ernie a football genius?
Who, Ernie?
Yes.
Oh yeah, Ernie's he's a savant. Ernie. So basically,
we're playing
Ernie was
Miami.
analytics.
It's gonna be hot.
It's gonna be hot.
It's going to be hot. Week 2, AFC North opponent, and week 3. It's going to be 6 minutes of hard football.
Ernie's off fucking limits, all right? Ernie's a made man. Ernie doesn't get talked about, nothing. But,
okay, well, I fucking watched that schedule release because I thought I was going to bump up my football IQ like at least 50 points. And I watched, I'm like, is he talking to kindergartners? Is this the guy that dominated the NFL for 20 years? That's all I could think.
Dominated.
He
was the analytics department before everybody else had one, essentially. But yeah, it's a lot of things changing. Football. You saw Bill; he's doing things different. Got a rookie quarterback, obviously. Went and spent all that money in free agency a couple years ago. So it's gonna be tough. Obviously, with all this talent that's coming up in the AFC specifically, it's gonna be tough to sustain that type of success over there. And calling plays, man. Who's gonna actually like practicing and all that shit? I'm not worried about that, but actually calling plays, like that's a skill set. That's going to be interesting to see how that plays out during the season.
Yeah, well, Bill's got everybody playing Madden. He's checking out what their strategy is against everybody right now. You want to call plays? Go and earn it. Go and earn it. Stream it right to my computer every night. Let me see what your style is. Matt Patricia's got his pencil.
Yeah.
Hey, they do that more. I play for 3 teams. They do that, like the simulated game environment. They do that more than any other team. You know how we have periods, special teams periods, this is that. Like it'll be, in the middle of practice, punt unit out.
Yeah.
Just throw it out, and then, all right, we're on the 8. It's this much time on the clock. Coordinators, offense, defense, go to that. Like, that's damn near – you always have to be on point for that type of situation in the Patriots practice, so that does help prepare you.
Oh, yeah.
But just calling games, especially with a young quarterback who's not necessarily, battle-tested like that, it's going to be interesting to see.
We missed the heart out there by 2 seconds. Not your fault. It was a great answer. Hey, Siri, sorry about it. You can't hear me, though, because the commercial's on. Go ahead, Tone. Sorry about it. I am sorry about it.
Thank you for the Lee Bond shout out. We appreciate that. How come safety is the lowest paid position on all of defense?
Oh, it kind of viewed as running backs. They're kind of losing their value, and it's something that you can. It's almost like an old lineman. You can draft them and kind of fit them into your system, and it's a small amount of guys that really separate themselves from the pack at that position. I think they're valuable, obviously, and then those guys who can get guys lined up, who can make plays off the hash, have ball production. Those are difference maker, like say a Minka Fitzpatrick. Hey. Like that's a guy who should be paid. Harrison Smith. The guys are getting the big money. They're getting that big money for a reason, but they're kind of fitting that. Tight end, running back market where they feel like they can be drafted, they can be placed, they can be, quote unquote, hid in the system. But I think safety is still a very valuable position.
Yeah, if you got a guy, right, you can do things with him. But if not, you can just fit him into the scheme and kind of hide him, right? I mean, that's kind of what's going on. And that's what you were talking about with the 2 high safeties, almost forcing corners to not have to be as island.
They don't have to hold that out. Like it's not like Revis Island.
College too, right?
What's that?
College too, right? Is that happening in college? I assume, or is that all just man to man?
Yeah, college all over the place, and most 90% of players don't. I don't know what the hell they're doing. I'm watching film, and it's guys. You see why they're putting up 50 and 60 points. It's terrible. And I told you a few months ago, like I've trained guys to talk to guys who don't even know how to backpedal. Coming out of college.
They side shuffle? What is it? Just side shuffle? They look at the quarterback the entire time and then just shuffle?
It's either shuffle, a kick step, all right, you got either this or that, or you're in a press. Every game, hey, just press man to man, and it's on you to kind of figure it out. And once again, the time constraint that the colleges and the pros have is tough. The thing about the pros, this is my life. Like this is my livelihood. Like I'm going home and I'm doing this as well. College kids, once they leave, they might not think about football again till they're back in that meeting room. So it's
maybe
tough.
UConn, maybe UConn, maybe UConn, not West Virginia. Oh, I was thinking football the entire time.
Hell yeah.
Gumpy has the last question for you here. Darius, we can't thank you enough for joining us.
Yeah, Deba, do you think the Celtics will beat the Heat in 6 or 7 games coming here?
Celtics are dead. You know this, Gump. Come
You
on,
said that
they're
about the
dead.
Nets, D-Butt. You said the Nets would beat them in the first round,
Hey,
D-Butt.
I did. I was dead ass wrong about the Nets. All right, I came in this playoffs with the Nets or the Heat coming out of these.
Hell yeah.
I'm with the Heat. I slept on Jimmy Butler. I slept in the squad. Kyle Lowry's out of the lineup. If it stays that way, we win at 6. Jimmy Butler will get the first Larry Bird.
You said you
Eastern
sat down at
Conference
halftime
Finals
last night. You're going to watch the whole game?
The amount of weeds.
Well, I got stuff going on. I had my daughter. Shout out my daughter Maya.
Hey, shout out Maya.
An excellent performance last night. Broadway, our way. So I missed the first half, but literally as soon as I sat down, took our first lead.
That's amazing.
Fucking dad of the year, and Gump's trying to take shots over here.
Did you miss that
One
Florida
of my
Panthers
kids lied
game,
to their classmates and told them that Jimmy Butler was her uncle. So that's respect.
That's a good move.
Genius.
Yeah.
How much better was life in school that day after, you know?
Yeah. Hey, man, I went in career day a few years back, and now I'm like, oh, news. Hey, is Jimmy Butler your uncle? And she's like, yeah. So now I got to ride with it. If I go in there, hey, that's my brother Jimmy. Let's go.
Well, good luck to your brother, Jimmy. Also, good luck to your Florida Panthers. You got ragdolled by the Tampa Bay Lightning last night. I don't know if you saw that.
It was ugly. 4-1, right?
Yeah.
It was ugly. We'll be all right, though.
You still watching the hockey or no?
Come on, big hockey guy.
How about F1?
That one's ugly though.
Are you done on F1 yet or no? Because you went to the race, you experienced it, now you're past it and over it? Wait.
No. It's race week out there in Barcelona.
Oh!
We talked about this race week out there, so I'm tapped in. Of course.
Well, good luck to everybody in Barcelona. Thank you so much for joining us, D-Butt. We will see you again soon. Have an incredible week. Everybody can watch the Man to Man pod. What days are you guys live at 11?
Monday and Thursday at 11. So tomorrow morning will be live at 11 right before your show.
YouTube.com/Man
to Man pod. The Man to Man pod.
Somebody got Man to Man pod. Somebody got Pat McAfee Show. So we had to go to the Pat McAfee Show.
Right.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough because that's the internet, though.
Hey,
ladies and gentlemen, Darius Butler. Thank you, D-Butt.
Appreciate it.
All right, let's get to a break. We'll be back in hour 2 with AJ Hawk. Hey, listen. They're simplifying football, and I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's right. Too simple.
True.
I don't like what's going on. On the offense side, Tom Brady says quarterbacks don't even have to make decisions anymore.
It's bullshit.
They don't even have to worry about where they're throwing or worrying about killing somebody because nobody can do anything. Tom Brady said it's gotten much easier at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
Tom Brady doesn't like it.
No.
Can't.
Wants to be harder.
Won't.
Darius said, hey, they got these 2 high safeties. You got schemes. You can just hide safeties in there, corners in there. Why are all these schemes taking over? It's a players' league. It's a players' league.
That's right.
Let these guys dance out there.
Let the boys play.
Let them do their thing. It's awesome that football has gotten so advanced now that everybody has figured out basically everything. Masterminds of football have been like, all right, if we run this particular scheme, we can use every single yard and piece of grass on the field, and they have to be perfect every single play.
Yeah.
And then,
we can hide this guy who kind of stinks, too.
Yeah, and then on the defensive side, they go, okay, yeah, they can pick up 5 yards. This quarterback won't throw a pick in 15 plays, we don't think? I'm not sure about
maybe.
Well, wait, we'll see. That's kind of what it has become. And it's awesome to watch because there's big plays made on either side of the ball. The NFL is seeing ratings that it's been never seen before. Well, I guess not. There's probably ratings were bigger back in the day when there was only like 3 channels. But they're still ratings kings over everybody else. But inevitably something will have to give.
Yeah.
Inevitably something will have to give. And then I'm excited to see what football does for that. We're back in 4 minutes with AJ Hawk. And then, 19 minutes from now,
Yes.
Representative Congressman Mike Gallagher.
Let's go.
Out of Green Bay, who was in the room where it happened yesterday with the UFO House Intel Committee thingy. Can't wait to chat with him. Can't wait to chat with you on the 5 Energy phone line, 1-833-4 McAfee. We'll chat with you in hour 2. See you then. I just saw a picture of you getting out of, I think, a 757 that was from Jim Irsay. What was that, and have you ever been in that plane before?
I thought it was like the team plane to fly all of the Indianapolis Colts. Literally, I mean, it's got the logo on it, Pat, and it was awesome. But look, that's just Jim. Pat, I had a wonderful 14 years there. It's obviously the team that I wanted to play for always. I understood the decision he had to make, and no hard feelings, and for him to send his plane to fly me and my son down here, it was a great gesture. A lot of room for me and Marshall. We were throwing the football. So, pretty cool experience. Pretty cool father-son weekend.
By the way, as he's moving from event to event right now, you are the best, dude. Where are you headed right now?
I'm going to the game. I got Lynch. I got Faneca. I got these guys in the background.
Boys, congratulations. Yeah. Congratulations, boys. All right, Peyton. Oh, hey, there he is. Marshall, I hope you enjoyed that plane, pal. Hey, Peyton, last thing here. You talking to Tom Brady, you becoming friends with him. It was interesting to watch. Oh, yeah, take the photo. Take the photo. All right, we will wrap this up.
Well, I'll tell you, Pat, I don't think anybody can do what Tom has done. Look, I know how hard it was for me to get on the same page with my receivers, learn a new system, learn new coaches. But I had a full off season. I was injured. I was rehabbing. The fact that Tom has done this in a COVID pandemic off season, no time to meet with his receivers. He met with his coaches illegally by breaking into Byron Leftwich's house. So besides that, it's been incredible what he's been able to accomplish, and he deserves all the credit. His leadership is what's put the Bucs in this game today, and I have great respect for him because I know how hard it is, but he deserves all the credit.
Hey, how did you know Red 18 was coming?
Pat, I mean, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you telling that story and just growing the legend. That was about the 18th time I tried it. I was 17 going into that. And, you know, when it doesn't hit, you just keep walking. Nobody ever really tells you about it. So when it hit, I was as surprised as you were. And the reaction from some of the good old folks there in the casino that night was pretty special.
Well, I appreciate you doing that. You made me and those folks in the casino a bunch of money. Congrats on the Hall of Fame nod. Thank you for spending time. Enjoy yourself at the game, Peyton.
Pat, thanks, pal. I appreciate you.
The Sheriff Hall of Famer, Peyton Manning.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back to that show. Hour 2 on Are We Making Waves in the Alien Conversation? Wednesday, May 18th, 2022 shall begin right now.
Yeah.
Can't thank you enough for joining us. The Talks Table is here at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys at Tone Diggs is your Tone.
you
Good
doing?
luck today.
Thank you.
Good luck today, Tone.
Thank you.
You losing weight?
A little bit.
Go, Tony.
Go.
Have
Just
to.
for summer bod? Summer bod?
Just have to.
Have
Just absolutely have to. You can't be a piece of shit forever.
What? I think people. Well, you're not a piece of shit.
No.
But I
Well-
think with what you're talking about with your body, people have and do. That's like what a casual, chilling lifestyle.
Can't have it happen.
Can't have it happen. You want to be a
I
champion.
want to be a
of-
champion gambler.
you want to be able to have the one wardrobe because I have 2 closets
Yeah.
at this point.
Listen.
Okay. Say when focused, when not focused.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of in the middle right now, purgatory, so everything's kind of fitting uncomfortably. The small focus shorts fit what kind of uncomfortable.
Sure.
The full fat pat shorts too big. Then they're also uncomfortable. Same things with the double XL tank, single XL tank. I mean, I'm really been struggling morning to morning, so I'm happy to hear your focus. I'm kind of in purgatory right now.
Yeah, last week when the only thing I could wear when it was 95 degrees out was fucking hoodies, that was tough.
Why is that? What happened?
The closet, all my summer stuff's a little smaller.
Oh, no.
Hey.
Tony, you be okay, Tony.
Yeah, you got it, Tony.
Come on,
We both, Tony. We'll do it together.
We'll figure it out.
Bill Burr said I'm on steroids.
Yeah, what was that?
Quite a
about?
compliment.
cycle?
Quite a
I
compliment.
felt pretty good about it. I did not expect to see that or hear that out of his mouth. So it actually made me spit some of this green tea I had been drinking. And you know, that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
I think it's because I got a little bit of tan. You know, a little bit of tan always makes you
Always
look better because if you can't,
Tone it.
then
Tan it.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Uh-huh.
Join us now, a man that's been tanning it for his entire life because he always looks toned.
Yeah, freak.
An absolute meathead, the founder of the Hawk House, which is the gym that is in the FanDuel Thunderdome. Ladies and gentlemen, Super Bowl champion, college football national champion, COVID survivor, Ryder Cup champion, AJ Hall. Hello.
Is that a saying I don't know? If you can't tone it, tan it?
I mean, that's a world.
I hate this guy, dude.
You're so
He's
cool.
never had to do this.
You're so cool, dude.
No, what do you mean I've never had to do what?
That you never heard this because that isn't your life. Your life is
No, I know
always
if you're
toned.
tone it,
Yeah.
always.
You know my brother-in-law, Brady
Right.
Quinn, always
Always
toned.
toned.
You know the rest of our family.
Brady's toned and tan, yeah, all the time, naturally. But
he's
no, I
taking
mean,
big tough
of course
shots.
I know.
Yeah.
Why do you think bodybuilders spray paint themselves for competitions? Yes, it makes the contours of your muscles pop out, but is that a saying that I don't know?
I don't know. We say it. People say it.
People
Do
say
you
it.
know that people say it?
No, I've never heard it like that, but of course everyone looks better.
Okay,
if you're
so
tan.
it
Your
is a
muscles-
saying you
Oh,
don't
my
know.
God.
That. It is a saying you don't know. That.
I definitely don't know that saying. No, I would not claim to know it.
Listen, I'm a spray tan frequenter, mostly because I have to go somewhere. I don't want to look the ghosty white and then the red that I have on a natural look. So I'll get a spray tan if I have to go somewhere that's warm and it's an event and it appears that people had seen sunlight for, you know, at least a minute or two, unlike where it was in Indiana beforehand. But it does make you look so much better so quick.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Oh my God, I lost 15 pounds.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm excited for the sun to be back.
Can't wait.
Hey, don't worry about doing anything.
Yeah,
The sun's here.
just tan it.
Just put tank top on. Let the guns out.
AJ actually just texted me, nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. So
AJ texted you.
Yeah.
That's another saying. Did you say that? Is that your saying?
Nope, but I have heard that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. People have rubbed that in my.
You can get in trouble for that one too.
That one stinks. I don't like that one.
Well, yeah, it's because those people have terrible taste buds. Like, for instance, this guy's taste buds are the most lazy,
Oh God.
worthless things of all time.
Bland. So bland.
No, they're not. They are bland, but they're lazy. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, there is not a single sensor in his taste bud that goes to his brain and says, "Not having it."
Yeah.
We can't do this every fucking day.
Not funny.
Lazy taste buds, just not even sending up the bird call. Like, maybe one day you have,
You guys have no idea.
General Tso's chicken.
Yeah.
instead
I
of
have no idea.
The bland paper chicken that we eat every single day. Like, I wish I had lazy taste buds. My taste buds work too hard. They run right up the pole, right to the brain, and they go, "We ain't eating this kale shit." I wish they were lazy. I wish they were into it. I was hoping that would be one of the outcomes of COVID. I could no longer taste and settle these sons of bitches down a little bit, but that's just not how it goes, AJ, and I'm sorry for it.
I am not a foodie like you are. You love the fancy, nicer things in life. I don't need food like that.
That's not true either.
No.
It's actually
Taste
complete
buds are
opposite.
bland.
I like wings,
What?
pizza, sandwiches.
Honey buns.
Sounds
Love
amazing.
honey buns.
Love honey buns.
Oh, that sounds great, and I
Donuts.
do eat that stuff.
fucking.
You eat donuts?
At times, but only
No.
good ones.
No, you
Like,
don't.
I'm
No,
not-
you
I'm
don't.
stupid.
No, you don't, you dork.
I don't think you're a dork because of that. I don't think that makes you a dork. But I am incredibly envious of the ability of people that don't like to eat. Like,
No, those people stink. Like, AJ, did you know you could put like salt or pepper on that chicken? Like, it's not even that crazy,
I love
make
pepper.
it taste
I
a
put
little
tons of
bit
pepper
better.
on.
You're like Orlovsky. Hey, by the way, congrats for Dan Orlovsky.
Dan
Orlovsky's another guy with incredibly lazy taste buds, but an incredible work ethic. He has signed back on to be back with ESPN on every show that they have, and he's also calling NFL games with Steve Levy and Louis Riddick. Steve Levy, Louis Riddick, and Dan Orlovsky are the number 2 NFL crew behind Troy Aikman and Joe Buck now. That was announced via Andrew Marchand of the New York Post. They are going to have 5 games, I think, in 2023 of the NFL season. They also have 3 back-to-back Monday nights this year, I believe. So congrats to Dan Orlovsky getting some NFL games and being on every single show that ESPN programs.
Yes.
Yeah. Attaboy, Dan.
We're happy for him. He just re-upped. I guess that was announced this morning.
Congrats. Yeah, I knew he was. He came on a while ago mentioning his being a free agent eventually. So, yeah, good for Dan, good for ESPN. We will see him plenty, I feel like, especially as the football season gets closer.
I hope he's pumped. I hope he's happy. Allegedly, Fox Sports was also in pursuit.
Yes.
From what I've been told. There may or may not have been a conversation with PMI and Dan Orlovsky.
Oh.
Wait, so do we hate Dan then?
Was it Tom Brady or Dono? Is that what Fox Sports was, and they went with Tom?
Wow. That's fucked up. Do they see what Dan does for 45 hours a day on ESPN?
Clearly not.
Wake up,
He
Fox.
brings it. Tom Brady was great on the field. We get it. The GOAT. Okay. What about the quarterback guru?
Yeah.
Dan Orlovsky. That's a shame. Probably similar money with ESPN.
I assume.
Also, what's going on with Greasy? They just take him to the glue factory. He's
Yeah.
done.
No, I think he's
in
coaching.
San Fran.
Yeah.
Took him out
Quarterback
back and
coach.
just fucking doof, doof.
I don't
mean,
think they
what's-
did that.
It's not very nice.
I agree.
I don't like that they did that,
He's
AJ.
coaching.
You're right. Where he's coaching now?
Yeah, for the Niners, your quarterback coach.
You
Here we
shitting
go.
me?
Let's go.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's awesome.
Are we
That's
serious?
serious.
Never
Yeah, that's
mind.
what he's
Here we
doing.
go.
He's going to teach Trey Lance how to do it.
Yeah, we had Ty and I clearly had no idea that took place.
No.
That's a very important position to
Yeah.
be just taking fresh out of the booth in his performance. I did not know that. Welcome back to the NFL, Greasy.
Yeah.
For the number 3 overall pick. I mean, the pressure's on Greasy even more now.
Shanahan, are they old family friends? How the fuck did this happen? Did we know this was? How did we miss this? How did you miss this, AJ? What is the deal?
Did Greasy play for his dad?
I think
so.
I think
Greasy
what
was
happened-
drafted
Yeah, he was
by
on
his
the
dad.
Broncos. Yeah.
There you go.
And he also, I
So-
think Shanahan heard one of the broadcasters was like, Jesus, fuck, I got to get this guy out of the booth and help
That
everybody
makes
out.
actually more
No,
sense.
I don't think everybody. He probably said for the good of Greasy, who's
Yeah.
in our family held in high regards. We need to think about. By the way, I don't think Greasy was a problem in there. I don't think Steve Levy was a problem. I don't think Louis Riddick was a problem. I think the entire last couple years of Monday Night Football has been just a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
It has been, I think, from the do-si-do with Witten and the Booger Mobile to just Booger to the whole. I mean, it has been quite I don't know if they were ever really given a fair shot, Levy, Riddick, and Greasy. And if
tough game schedules, too. Like, they did not have a lot of great games.
Well, and the Mannings were on the next channel up on most people's things. So I'm not saying they were the greatest, and I'm not saying Greasy was anywhere near the greatest NFL Monday Night Football or any primetime game commentator, but I don't think any of us were going in there with any expectation of them being that good, and I don't think anybody changed their
Also,
minds.
it's very tough to follow Tirico and Gruden, and then you're also compared to the MEC booth, which is
Al Michaels
awesome.
and Collinsworth right before you.
Yeah.
Thursday Night Football booth, too. Aikman and Joe Buck did those.
Wait, so Monday night is going to be who now?
Joe and Troy.
So
Joe and Troy on Monday night. Are they adding Dennis Miller in for a 3-man booth again or no?
I don't
No, I don't think it's
he and
Dennis
Troy
Miller.
might go well together. He and Troy, I think, would really vibe.
When did Dennis Miller pop into your list of things that you wanted to force into this conversation?
Because I was thinking of Monday night games and watching them growing up, and I never understood any of Dennis
Him and
Miller's
Kornheiser
references.
in there were really good.
That thing, people were attacking. I was getting lumped into the Dennis Miller world there for a bit when I was thinking about whether or not to call games. Like, just being entertaining and funny doesn't work calling games. Remember Dennis Miller? I was getting, added in these comments from people, and I'm like, fuck. I was at least played. I mean, geez, what are we doing here? And I'm not saying, I don't remember the Dennis Miller experiment personally, but it is not viewed as, the good, right?
No.
I do. I mean, I was a big fan of him in The Net with Sandra Bullock. Very good movie.
Oh, yeah. Classic film.
Well,
Yeah, it is
Sandy
a
can
good
carry
movie.
anybody.
There's a lot of yucking it up when Miller was in the booth.
Oh, really?
I love that.
Kornheiser, too. I mean, they have PTI.
Yeah.
Still going, him and Wilbon.
40 straight years? For real. How long is that?
Forever, I think. And by the way they are talked about in the biz is they are the greatest daily studio show of all time. That's how they're chatted about.
Started in 2001.
Not that Dan Patrick show or Rich Eisen show.
Yeah.
Colin Cowherd show has been around a long time. How about Dan Orlovsky's shows?
Yeah.
Jim Rome's been around.
Rome.
Yeah, let's not forget about Romy.
Yeah.
Rome was trending the other night. We talked about that whenever it was announced how much money Tom Brady was going to make to be a sportscaster, and then they put a top 5 list out. And instead of Tom Brady being chatted about being on top of the list, like the article headline was, everybody was talking about who was at number 3 or number 2. I forget which number. Jim Rome, $30 million a year. That's because you need to respect the fucking jungle.
That's right. Clones. Let these clones know.
Guy was king
He
for a long
quote-tweeted it
time.
and said that.
Did he sign? Did he really?
Nah, I don't think so.
Should have.
I sent him a DM and I just said, brother. And he responded back, brother.
Love this guy.
And then I forgot to answer. That's 100% on me. I should answer that. I have nothing but respect for Jim Rome. I assume he just signed a 10-year deal back in the day, and it was a huge one because he's been doing this a lot longer than anybody will give him credit or respect for because he looks young.
Yeah.
He's been doing this a long time.
I remember listening to Jim Rome on the way to, school in 3rd grade.
Quite a shot at CBS Sports, I think the entire internet took.
Yeah.
Because they said, this guy, I haven't fucking heard from this guy in 10 years. Is that Jim's fault? Or is this the network that he's on's fault? I mean, who do you got to ask?
I haven't heard from him, too, because he doesn't care. He's getting 30.
I do my show every fucking day.
Yeah.
CBS told me they take care of all the marketing. They clearly are not. That is not on me. That is on everybody else. No disrespect will be said on this show of Jim Rome.
No, never.
Ever. Love that man.
Love it.
Speaking of love, I love this topic we're about to dive into.
Hell yeah.
Ever since I was a little baby boy, okay, I looked up at the sky a lot of looking up at the sky. And I'm not the only one, obviously. The internet has become infatuated with this particular topic as well, and how could you not be? What is out there? There's been something that has been questioned and asked by damn near every human at one point. Others get a little bit more, captivated by it than others, but somebody at some point has, asked, what the fuck's going on? For the first time in 50 years, yesterday there was a House Intel Committee testimony
public hearing
thing
That's right.
about UFOs. And one of the best performances came from this representative who is a congressman, and there are 435 congressmen that represent the House.
Boom.
This is one of them.
Hell yeah.
That's right.
Put on a hell of a performance yesterday. Former Marine representative of Green Bay, Wisconsin, ladies and gentlemen, Congressman Mike Gallagher. What's going on, Mike?
What's going on?
Hey, call you Mike, Rep, Congressman, Mr. Gallagher, alien guy?
Alien guy or Mike is fine.
I saw the Washington Post called you alien guy this morning, tried to debunk your entire brain and get you out of here. You're not only the fastest congressman, you're a Marine. And you seem to be one of the most researched people in that hearing thingy yesterday. So can I ask you a couple questions before we dive into what had happened yesterday?
Of course. Can I say thanks at the outset, not only for shining a light on this, but bringing Aaron Rodgers into our lives every week during the season. And I got to say, my guy Ty, your reaction to the Jordan Love pick, top 5 internet moment for sure.
I appreciate
it's
that.
an honor to be with you guys.
Hey, thank you.
I didn't mention the great AJ Hawk.
Thank you, Congressman.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of just spit on AJ Hawk, so not sure if you're going to be able to win Ohio whenever you decide to run for president inevitably, but that's on you. That's not on us, remember. But AJ is also thankful you're here. We're excited. When did you know you were going to get into politics, and how old are you? You knowing, like, greatest internet moment, and your question yesterday was questions that a lot of people on the internet, I think, would have asked, and it seemed like the two people that are supposed to have all the answers, they squirmed a little bit. I'm not going to say anything about body language. I'm no body language expert, but they had never heard of it and didn't know about that. How can that be a real thing? And do you feel like government is an interesting time right now where people of your generation that kind of understand the modern world, and then there's people that have no clue about what the fuck's going on? Is that actually happening from outside in?
Okay, so a lot of questions there. I'm 38. But prior to this, I ran 6 years ago for the first time. I was in the Marine Corps for 7 years, deployed a few times. I was doing defense intel stuff on a totally different track. And my congressman unexpectedly retired. And I ran for part of the reason that you mentioned. I mean, I thought we got too many career politicians in office, and we need a new generation to step up and run. I was the youngest man in Congress at the time. Now I'm barely in the top 10. So, yeah, I very much believe the problem with Congress is that we got too many career politicians. We got too many people that get into this. They stay too long, and then they go and lobby for the very institutions or industries that they were supposed to conduct oversight of. So that sort of answers one basket of your questions. As it pertains to the hearing yesterday, listen, I'm new to this debate. Like, I don't bring particular UAP expertise, but I've done basic research. I've probably done about 5 hours worth of research. So I asked what I thought were basic questions for people that are just modestly familiar with the literature. And they couldn't answer any of those questions. I mean, they're suggesting that there's nothing that the government has done from 1969 when we shut down Operation Blue Book to when we set up some of these new programs, ATIP. I'm sorry, that doesn't withstand basic scrutiny. I do not believe that at all. And then I asked about the Malmstrom incident in 1967. They seem not to know what the hell I was talking about. And then finally I asked about this memo that's been floating around out there, and they also seem not to know what the heck I was talking about. So the whole thing was incredibly confusing. I'm not sure we got any closer to the truth. And listen, I appreciate this effort to destigmatize the discussion, but until the Defense Department starts speaking in simple and direct, plain English and answering questions, we're just going to spin everybody up, or we're going to be spinning around in circles. So I left very frustrated, and I'll stop here. But though I started off as a casual sort of observer in this whole UAP debate, now I'm so pissed off that I'm not going to let it go until they answer my question.
Okay, well, we all appreciate
I don't know if
that.
that answers your question.
No, Congressman, it does. Like, we appreciate that because, and that's a younger era, I think, and having more information than ever before in our hand and in our fingertips, and there's more question, there's more, people want to snoop around and learn more, and I think the alien UFO UAP conversation is certainly one that the internet has always had. And obviously the Tic Tac video that came out on the internet years ago that we had all seen, and then the Pentagon confirms it, right? The Pentagon comes out and says, yes, this is actual video that we shot, and we do not know what this is. It's moving at a speed and in a manner that we don't think is man-made, basically, is what the Pentagon said. Like, there was no answers to what this thing was that the internet had known for like 10 years. We had seen this on the internet, and it got legitimized. I don't understand. Do you think they're purposefully not trying to answer any questions? Do they go in there with the mindset to not answer any questions? Or do you think they legitimately just don't look into anything so they don't have any answers? Because that's more scary, I think, than the first answer.
Well, I think there's a couple possibilities. One, it's possible that even these guys who we've tasked and the Secretary of Defense have tasked with getting to the bottom of this and figuring out aren't aware of everything that the federal government is doing. Put differently, there may be some program they don't even have access to. And that's problematic, right?
Yes.
Because that should be the first hypothesis that we're able to disconfirm, right? If it's a program that existed in the past that we have insight into, open up the books, right? Let's declassify as much as possible.
Why wouldn't they?
Compromising.
Mike, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they open the books? Because they'd be scared about the reaction of the people?
Well, I think, and I come from an intelligence background. There's always this argument that, okay, if you declassify the stuff, you're going to compromise sources and methods. Now, I think that's a bogus argument in this case. To your point, I mean, the Tic Tac video, everyone's seen that. Furthermore, I think the entry point into this discussion for a lot of people is that the pilots are legit. I mean, I've talked to David Fravor. Like, these guys are Top Gun pilots, right? And it's not just two separate pilots. It's not just like the Mavericks and the Iceman. You also have the Gooses, the guys that are sitting in the backseat who confirm this stuff. So you can't dismiss the pilots. And also, I think that is the hardest to explain, right? Like, if you think a lot of these incidents are actually natural phenomenon or weather or a commercial drone, and I bet that explains a lot of them, it doesn't explain the TikTok video. And honestly, the hypothesis I brought into the debate, right? You got to understand my bias. I do U.S.-China defense competition. That's kind of my thing, right? Like, I wake up every day thinking,
hey, pretty fucking important, right? Yeah. Hey, that's pretty big deal.
Right?
Yeah.
Pretty big how do we win this new Cold War with China, right? And my suspicion is that we're losing right now. So when I came into this, I thought,
we don't like that.
It's got to be the communists, right? It's got to be communist China spoofing our ranges or doing something weird. And I'll say this as someone who still kind of favors that hypothesis. That doesn't explain the Tic Tac video. Yeah. I don't have a good explanation for the Tic Tac video, which is why you can't dismiss the extraterrestrial hypothesis. So I don't know, man. We have a long way to go before we're even close to answering basic questions. And again, listen, I appreciate that they're taking it seriously, but they can't answer basic questions.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
We had a classified portion afterwards. I'm not going to comment on classified information, but I just will say this. Obviously, I'm still frustrated with the lack of answers. So, interpret that as you will.
Oh, it was a bunch of malarkey.
Wow.
Go ahead, AJ.
Are these other countries, like, is there anything going on over there? Are they trying to figure out if they have, like, do they have sightings? I don't know. Like, are they keeping it off the internet? I feel like we're the only ones investigating all of this. I would think this is a worldwide thing, not just us.
Well, I think it's fair to say that, they're following the debate we're having here in America. I'm being a little bit cagey. I just don't want to stray into any classified territory. Again, I'm not trying to hide behind that, and I just made a whole speech about how everything's overclassified, but I'm not going to be the one to violate the. Right? Like,
you're a new politician.
Go to jail. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, okay. Like, they're aware of what's going on, and if China saw it, let me put it this way: if China saw an opportunity to make us look stupid and to discredit some of these questions, they wouldn't hesitate, right? They had their diplomats all over American social media. These guys are called Wolf Warrior diplomats. Look up Wolf Warrior. It's the second highest grossing Chinese film of all time. It's crazy. You can watch it on YouTube. But the bottom line is they got their guys attacking us every single day. So if they saw an advantage in discrediting this discussion, they would. So I think everyone should take the discussion seriously. And again, even if you're skeptical about the extraterrestrial hypothesis, and IPAT would like to offer you an alternative idea that I think is more plausible, even if you're skeptical of that, it is fact that things are appearing on our ranges. They're fouling our ranges. That's why they're called range foulers. It presents a safety risk to our pilots. We have to figure what the hell is going on. And right now, we've got no answers from the Pentagon. We've got absolutely no answers, which is why declassify as much as possible, invite the help of the private sector. It's not just like fringe people looking into this. Like, there are multi-millionaires and billionaires in the VC and private equity community that are fascinated by this question. Let's get the help of the private sector, and let's figure out what the heck's going on. And yesterday was just fundamentally unacceptable.
I agree. Listen, I don't watch C-SPAN ever. Okay, I tried to yesterday. I for this entire thing, I was really jacked up about it. Thought you had a good performance.
Yeah, great job.
Thought you had a pretty good performance. There's a couple others that had good performances as well. We appreciate you joining us fresh out of that. But is that how it always goes? Like, is that how it always goes? And are those happening all day, every day? Why are people saying, why is the House wasting time on this? Like, this seems like the most important fucking thing on earth. No, like, honestly, no joke there. Not that there isn't other important stuff, but if there's somebody that has much better capabilities than us, we know about, and they're potentially getting closer and closer as we're learning more and more information, like, I feel like that's a rather important piece of, intel that people would want to hear. Is that type of shit happening every day, all day? And is this, kind of status quo? No answers, but we're asking good questions, starting conversation. Is that how it all works in there?
Well, a UFO hearing isn't happening every day. That was our first one in 50 years. But on any given day, there's 20 hearings going on. I've already been to 4 today, and I got 2 more to go. And it just spans the range of issues. That's where most of your work is done in Congress, in committees. But it's also a wide range. I mean, some are total, for lack of a better phrase, shit shows.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah. You already have, I think, a couple times. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going to get in trouble.
Yeah, you took us down. Took us down.
And part of and some of them devolve into just members are trying to get clicks, get followers, and get their sort of 5 minutes of fame. Some are serious and sober, and then some are like yesterday, which is just frustrating, and we don't have witnesses that can give us basic answers. But that stuff's happening all day, particularly in the armed services and intel committees.
I don't know enough about government. I apologize. I probably should have done more research or paid attention in civics class, but I feel like it's all changing inevitably. And even though there's still very old-fashioned yay, nay stuff happening.
Come on.
The evolution of government is fascinating because it's not really happening, but it seems like the world is happening. Yesterday was, I don't want to call something a letdown, but that was a massive letdown yesterday, and it feels like you feel the same way. You said you kind of lean against extraterrestrial. What is your hypothesis? You think it's just Fowlers and potential defense mechanisms? Like, for instance, there was, an orange globe in outside of our plane in Indiana. There was multiple globes spotted in Houston. There is then one allegedly outside of an aircraft carrier out in the middle of the ocean. This is a recreation of what they said they saw that they had no defense against, allegedly. They couldn't shoot down these. They thought it was drones because they were on a drones defense mission. It wasn't drones. It was actual globes or bulbs, they said, that was following them around. This is via, I think, the New York Times or something like that article. So it feels like there's a lot of these situations out there. You said you're not necessarily a massive believer, but it has kind of piqued your interest because of the lack of information that we're learning about, so you're diving into it more. What is the common conversation around, your circles over there in government about these things that pop up? Just a bunch of weather things and bullshit is kind of how it's all dismissed? And is there anything else that's being taken super serious, like the Tic Tac video?
I think we've actually gotten beyond the hiding behind sort of weather or natural phenomena to explain some of these. Now, again, I think that could explain. Yesterday we talked about there's been 144 incidents with multiple sources of reporting. So it's not just a pilot seeing something, but also radar picking it up. Natural phenomena could account for some subset of that, but not all of it. So what are you left with, right? I sort of put forward the foreign adversary hypothesis. There's the extraterrestrial hypothesis. Again, I'm trying not to lean for or against it. Yes. I just don't think we know enough right now to dismiss it or say definitively that's the explanation. The third, and I think really interesting one, is that it's not extraterrestrial, but rather interdimensional, right? So the idea that it could be us from the future. And
Whoa! Here we go. This is what I'm talking about, Mike. Okay.
So think about the headlines tomorrow are going to be Gallagher.
Yeah.
It's the Mars portal, right?
I've already priced that in. Okay, so think Terminator, right? So go back 200 years, and you would say, okay, you guys don't have cars, you don't have internet, you don't have good machine guns. What the heck's going on? Get your act together technologically. So go from our point in history forward 200 years, and whoever's left at that point, if we can avoid nuking ourselves, is going to say, wait, you guys can't bend space and time. We figured that out 50, 100 years ago, right? We already, my understanding, and again, I'm not a technologist, is that there is technology, technically, that can do teleportation of something called neutrinos, and also technology that proves that subatomic particles can move faster than the speed of light. Einstein tells us that's true. Theoretically, time travel is possible. So that is the third hypothesis, that people in the future, us, have figured out how to bend space and time, and it's our technology coming back from the future. That's the Terminator hypothesis. What say you?
Did you cook this up yourself, or is this amongst members of Congress and things like that?
It's. I would say there's a group. There's a group of people on the outside that believe that this is more plausible than the extraterrestrial explanation, and serious people too, like people that have made billions of dollars and people that like know technology far better than I do. Again, I'm not privileging that over another one. I'm just saying, like, we got to go into this debate not foreclosing anything just because we think, oh, it's dumb to talk about aliens and, you know, the Washington Post will call you a conspiracy theorist or this or that. Like, let's follow the evidence wherever it leads. And I don't yet know where that's going to lead. But, like, let's just follow it.
Imagine if that's just some future Connor Campbell flying around on that Tic Tac fucking with everybody.
I feel it in my bones.
Oh my god!
But then you get into the Terminator paradox, right? Are you aware of the Terminator paradox?
Well, you can't run into each other.
Well, who created Terminator? Ask yourself that question.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No. So Miles Benedict Tyson
Cameron.
creates in Terminator 2 creates Terminator from a Terminator chip or something that comes from the future. So like you can't. It already existed. It's like circular logic. Anytime you get into time travel, you're talking circular logic. It doesn't make sense once you think about it. No knock on Terminator. I think it's an awesome movie. So
go ahead, Ty.
Mike, we always talk about Elon Musk potentially being an alien. You're close to the guy. I know you. I mean, the Terminator hypothesis. I guess that would make sense. But do you think it's possible that a guy like Aaron Rodgers is potentially an alien among us when you can see what this guy can do on the football field?
I think he's either an alien or a demigod. In either case, he's not of this world. And for all, Ty, I want to thank you for defending Rodgers. I mean, for all the haters that are still pissed off about the vaccine stuff, or they're creepily, constantly speculating about Aaron Rodgers' personal life, get over it. The guy is very good at throwing footballs precisely where they need to be thrown. And you can get over all the other stuff. So if he's an alien, like let's get moving on this technology so we can also teleport, some receivers back from the future.
That's awesome. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Congressman Alien Guy, did you see the door on Mars? Because this has kind of been circulating this week, and it's pretty clear that people are living inside Mars.
And how do we know what's real and what isn't? Okay? Like, how do we know what's real and what isn't? Because this photo is a 4K photo of a door right into Mars, which is where they've been living the entire time.
I did not see that. So I know. I've blown whatever alien congressman guy street cred I have. You guys got to send me this. We need to, we got to get the private sector involved here. So the idea is that this is a doorway into where they've been living on Mars.
Yeah, NASA footage captures doorway inspires theories of life on Mars. I mean, that's.
I'm surprised that they haven't shut that story down as the New York Post published it.
I think that was a political joke. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe there was a little political innuendo in there.
No, so you think they're on Mars? It wouldn't be weird though.
In Mars, Mike. They're in Mars.
Inside. Okay, interesting.
Just like Long Island.
Yeah.
Wait, tell me, what was your guys' personal encounter? Because we need to enter that into the record.
Bingo. That's actually why we put it in the middle of these other two very real ones. So the Houston one was documented and actually chatted about. It was 4 days after our Indiana one where we were flying back home, and there was just this orange globe that was in our atmosphere. It was in our atmosphere just staring at us. And obviously I'm big time like, hey, how come I ain't seen no UFOs? Everybody else has seen it. I look up all the time. How come this hasn't happened? Foxy was with me. We have a video of it, though. But just shortly after that, the ocean one happened as well. So here's us on a plane. It's a tough shot. Obviously, it's not going to be easy. It's like Bigfoot. Everything's fucking blurry. But this thing was just sitting there next to us, and everybody on the internet immediately goes, that's the moon, you fucking idiot. That's the moon. And although I do indulge in some vitamins whenever it is a legal state, it was not the moon.
Not the moon.
It was not the moon. It was sitting there. So, I mean, you tell me, Mike. There's too many situations, though, don't you think? I mean, there is so many of these. If the UFO conversation will continue to happen, or because yesterday not giving us any answer, they're going to shut it down? And when do the aliens just start coming in and, like, waving hello to us?
Well, I think the genie's out of the bottle, and that's a good thing, right? Like,
Yes.
as much as you were frustrated by the hearing, I was frustrated by the hearing, and we obviously didn't get answers. Now the conversation is just it's increased so much, and there's a lot of serious people that are interested. And I will say, I got to give credit to the Senate and Senator Marco Rubio in particular. They've actually taken this investigation very seriously from the start, and so I think you're going to see more discussion. Maybe not as many open hearings, if indeed, like, we just need to be in a more secure space to get to the bottom of this. But there's a lot of people that I think over the course of the next year we can interview, and we can start to piece together what's actually going on here. So I actually don't think they're going to be able to shut it down, even if they want to. And I don't think DOD is trying to shut it down necessarily. Maybe they're mildly annoyed, or maybe there's some competition going on between defense and intel, but there's no way in which you can sort of shut the conversation down at this point.
That's good news. Go ahead, AJ.
Mike, first off, who the hell is in charge of putting out those nude drawings, supposedly, of humans that we sent to the aliens? And also, are there? Can you confirm there are actually alien life forms stored at Wright Pat Air Force Base in Ohio? I used to take field trips there at school.
I cannot. So I don't know who's in charge of the new drawings. If you ever remember that movie Contact? That was
Jodie Foster.
like
Yeah,
Midnight. Yeah, good movie, by the way. Based on a book by Carl Sagan. Basically, one of the subplots of that is that we're constantly sending our television programs out into space. And so in the book, basically the first image the aliens sent back is Hitler at the Olympics in 1938 or something, because that was one of the first powerful television signals that actually made it sufficiently far into space. So, indeed.
We're continuing to not send our best. The drawings that they sent up there are terrible drawings of the human. Terrible drawings.
Well, I assume the signal that we're on now is powerful, and so it's possible the Pat McAfee Show is being beamed into other galaxies and far away.
How you doing?
As for your second question,
I've been fucking keeping an eye on you guys.
I have not.
Don't want to be sexist in your planet. Jesus.
It has occurred to me that now that I'm on the Intel committee, I can probably go visit Area 51 and go visit all these places.
Get your ass out there, Mike.
Yeah, that's sort of the next phase of this investigation.
I have zero faith.
They'll shut you down.
Yeah, I was about to say, I have zero faith in us ever learning anything that is that'd be sweet to learn about in the government. I'm happy to hear your optimism, though. It sounds
but you guys think that the evil bureaucrats in the executive branch are actively trying to shut down access to a program that's existed for a long time that involves aliens? That's the theory you believe?
I mean, pretty firmly, yeah.
Yeah. I guess I think the best counter argument, and I'm not dismissing that, by the way.
Sounds like you are.
Thank you. The question is, how many people would have had access to that program over what period of time, and can you keep something like that a secret, particularly given how much interest there's been in the topic? Maybe the counter to that counter is that the Manhattan Project involved hundreds of people and was kept secret, so you could. But that's usually how people respond when you make that.
Yeah.
And by the way,
I don't think I have enough respect for people keeping something to themselves if that's important. Now that you kind of point that out, because that's kind of the answer to a lot of things. So all these people know about insert thing and they're just not telling anybody, and that's a great rebuttal, I would assume. But what if it is just a very small group that you're talking about? What was you even mentioned it earlier, that potentially a part of the government that we have never heard of is working on something? Does that take place? Isn't that kind of what the CIA does anyways?
Well, you have all these very highly compartmentalized programs that only certain people are read into, and in some cases that exists for good reason. But it's quite possible that there is sort of one arm of the government doing something, and only 10 people are read into that program, and another arm of the government that's doing something tangentially related to that is not aware, just because they don't have the need to know for that program. I mean, this happens all the time. I mean, you think about just the complex mess that is our national security bureaucracy, right? You have 18 different intelligence agencies, you got DOD, you got this, you got that. And so part of this investigation going forward is going to have to involve breaking down those barriers. The reason I introduced the Wilson memo, and again, I don't know if it's true, right? My whole theory on this is that if it's not, this should be the easiest thing for the Defense Department to disconfirm, right? Talk to Wilson, talk to Eric Davis, talk to everybody else that's still alive that's mentioned in that memo, and figure out if there's anything legitimate in there. And if not, all right, then we can remove that and we can focus on what remains. But the fact is, as you saw yesterday, they weren't even aware of it. They claimed they had never.
See, that's tough to take serious.
Yeah.
When they say, that's for my theory. Let's say that is my theory that I believe for a long time people are just keeping it quiet. I think watching yesterday, I feel empowered almost even more. Like, yeah, they're definitely hiding. It feels like they're hiding something, or not saying something, because they're acting as if something that everybody basically has heard of doesn't even exist. It's like, why would you do that? It's hard not to just keep drumming it. But the alien extraterrestrial convo is just so, it's so immense, because then you start thinking about the ripple effects. Like, okay, now you talk about religion. So like there's maybe some religious people that don't want this to take place or find out about either. And then, for security and for finances and for, there's so many things that potentially can get fucked if this is legitimized, that you would think people would want to keep it quiet for the sake of the people. If you're a government, like, we're looking out for the people. Like, we're thinking they can't handle that information. So it just feels like it's a never-ending.
Yeah, or we felt like there was an advantage in us knowing about it and nobody else in the world knowing about it, right? Like if we had
the wolf warriors out there looking
if
for
we
our
had
info.
if we had stumbled upon or created technology.
Lazar said, like Lazar.
A generational leap, right? Like we wouldn't want the Russians, we wouldn't want, the Chinese, we wouldn't want the Iranians, discovering it, right? So that would be the justification, keeping it secret, more than any profit motive or what I think is a more likely theory, just pure bureaucratic overlay and mess and complexity. So
ego.
Again, I don't know. I just have started to pull the string on a few of these things. And I expected us to have a more candid discussion yesterday, and that's not what happened. I mean, part of the
we did not. We actually were you were either going to get absolutely nothing or everything, and it turned out it was the first one, which I think empowers the internet to be like, these motherfuckers know more than they're saying. Lazar was right. Lazar was right. That's a whole nother story that we could even dive into. You guys should get his ass to get in there and maybe talk to him with everything he said. I mean, it's a never-ending conversation. Last question for you here, Mike. We can't thank you enough for joining us. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Congressman, and not so much a question, but we talk about this a lot in the office. So when you do run for president, you already got my vote because we need to fucking figure out China, all right? But when you need to get everybody else's vote, here's what you need to do. You need to be up on fucking stage, and then you just trot out an alien, or you trot out someone from the future when you do figure out what the fuck. Like if someone from the future just appears next to you, or you fucking trot out an alien, boom, everyone's voting for you. Just wanted to get that off my chest, let you know.
You get the gas prices down, trot out an alien, bang, President of the United States, I think, Mike. Just something to think about. We don't want to run your campaign, but we would like to add some ideas.
Correct.
So who's VP in that scenario?
The alien,
single
probably.
Issue. The alien, but then you have residency and constitutional problems with that. So,
hey, you're going to be running against The Rock, huh? Probably.
Yeah, that was an inevitable showdown. Eventually, I knew for the past decade I've been on a collision course with The Rock. And I think The Rock is one of these guys that bowed down to communist China for the sake of selling Fast and Furious merch.
Whoa!
Wow! Vin Diesel. No, that's Vin Diesel.
Is he the only one?
Dude, he's getting.
Maybe I'm confusing John Cena.
Wow! Who else you got?
All right.
Yes!
Listen, we're not getting into this. We are not getting on an early presidential campaign here.
Who played a Marine in a movie called The Marine, by the way. So I find this doubly insulting to the Marine Corps. Apologized in Mandarin for claiming Taiwan was its own country. I mean,
he does speak good Mandarin.
When did that happen?
What a wild. Hey, so you are on. That is what you're in every day, huh? Is the China, you in China, every single day? How many people are in that particular committee, and how much should we worry about that in the future? Is that because I think a lot of us stooges.
Hey, to end on a positive note here, that's one of the few areas of bipartisanship that's happening in Congress right now. There's a lot of good people on both sides of the aisle. A lot of the younger people, a lot of the people that have served either in the military or in the intelligence community are trying to figure out how do we posture ourselves to compete successfully with China over the next 3 decades, because it's not just a military competition. It's not just an economic competition where they're stealing our IP. They're undermining American manufacturing jobs. We're dependent on China for manufacturing of basic pharmaceuticals. of rare earths, et cetera, it's also an ideological competition between two fundamentally incompatible forms of government. So this is something we got a lot of good new blood in Congress working on. So it's one of the rare things that, though I said we're behind right now in certain areas, I'm actually optimistic if we attack this with a sense of urgency that we can get our act together and start to beat these guys.
Hey, let's go! Yeah! Good luck out there. We appreciate you. Good luck on your presidential campaign. Thank you for your service now and when you are, not that you're not anymore, but while you're actively serving as a Marine. Representative Mike Gallagher. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah!
Jeez. AJ, I don't need you saying who else you got.
Yeah. That was all
Put him on the ticket right now.
No.
I'm not aware of most of that stuff.
Yeah, me neither, but except for when Nick starts yelling things from the back. But
AJ knows.
that's a real thing, I guess, going on.
I can't.
He was one.
Believe he just said that. Yeah. That was awesome.
Just glad he told the truth once.
Yeah, that was one of my.
He
favorite
was one. I ain't
moments
wearing
of
no
all time.
fucking mask away from me, fucking jizzing all over the place.
All right, let's get to a break. All right, we'll be back in 4 minutes.
He and Diggs are going to dinner tonight.
I don't know if we got any alien information out of that conversation.
We did, but we did get a new member of the pantheon of guests that we've had on
You're
the
an
show.
idiot.
Yeah,
he was very. I mean,
very professional. He's good, man.
He's going to be president. I mean, he started his presidential campaign here early against the Rock.
Yeah.
The future people coming back and it's their technology is mind bending.
Yeah, that fucked me up.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I feel like I'm on the internet a lot. I have not dabbled into that world.
No.
Him saying it though, like, it would make sense, I guess.
Yeah, it would.
Hey, Bob Ritchie's available for VP.
Okay.
Thank you, AJ.
AJ, just what else?
All I know is he better watch his ass at the Marine Corps ball next year. Cena's going to be looking to fucking knock his teeth out.
Well, they letting traitors in?
Yeah,
I think he'll be okay.
He's telling any lies. Cena knows. That's right.
Dun, dun, dun. Where's Gallagher?
in his Peacemaker costume.
Yeah, right, in his dress blues,
All
dude.
right. All right, let's get to a break. We'll be back on the other side. You know, anytime we start dancing in those waters, it's a little bit too deep for me. A lot of people are going to be mad about what just happened. I'm going to get attacked for it because if you're not prepared to have a political conversation, don't have a political conversation. I don't know everything you just said, but I'll tell you what. Sounds like we're going to learn a lot more about aliens.
Yeah.
Which I am here for. How about Marco Rubio, I guess, really taking this thing by the horns?
Thank you, Marco.
Really?
Oh, is he leading it?
That's what he said?
Yeah. Way to pay attention, AJ.
Way to listen.
All right, happy we had a guest.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Wake
had a fucking congressman on.
Yeah.
Senator.
Well,
Congressman on. Congressman on. All right, we're back in 4 minutes. Answer some phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line. Happy we could do the world a service today. And that's alien conversation.
Hell yeah.
Boom.
Back and forth. Cheers. Bye. There's a big fucking fire. We are in the back corner of that building that is at the bottom there. That smoke smells. Huh?
Yeah.
The paint from that place, the utilities, the plastic.
All the good stuff, yeah.
That's all just floating right into us.
Yeah.
The guy just came to the building. If the fire moves a little more this way, we have to evacuate.
Yeah, it's got to be like the air conditioning units or something up there.
It's currently under investigation right now. It did spread to the roof and to the air conditioning heating unit up on the roof.
John Robinson says,
Holy shit.
Whoa.
holy
Or
fuck.
something like...
What was the explosion, you think?
They're doing a bunch of fire hydrants out there, so maybe the top of the lid fell off. I don't know.
I don't.
Dude, it was a loud.
That's how it came from right there.
They just put the fire out. Fire's out. Right now.
Oh, okay.
Forget all about that. You're like, I can do that again.
So we just lost power in the middle of one of the greatest promos in the history by pound for pound #1 fighter in the world, Kamaru Usman. He literally just cut a promo about what it's like to walk to the ring.
Some guys, they stay afraid and they just kind of get smaller and smaller. But as for guys like myself, as you get closer, this alpha, this giant, this lion, this god-like figure per se starts to grow and grow and grow and grow. And then they grease me up, and then I step up there, and then I pray for myself, and then I pray for that guy.
And I got like chills almost while he was talking about it. And right before he was about to kind of put a bow on it, The entire thing just shut down. There's a fire right next door. Let's assume they cut off all the electricity. We're fucked. Probably for the next few hours. That's good. Hey, boys, we handled it. Good show. The ticker's still kicking. Hey, let's type something on the ticker. So just go on your computer. I'll type in the chat.
You want me to email Sirius?
Please do.
Okay.
You want to just who's going to letter? Yeah, because this probably going to take a little bit. Call office. Bill. Yeah. This thing just froze. Oh, jeez. This is great.
He said the fire department just cut it. They have no idea how long.
That was really good by Usman, too. All of the power in our office just went out. Unexpected, out of nowhere. This shit is getting real out here. Hope everybody's okay. Obviously, they got the fire contained, which is good news. But we apologize for the show ending abruptly out of nowhere. No injuries, I believe, is what's being reported. The fire was massive. We all had to huff like paint and shit from the fire right next to our studio. We'll be back tomorrow, hopefully. Cheers. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Oh, what do you got?
Looks like I may have made the right choice.
Jesus. Fuck.
Got it.
Oh. For birdie finish. Ah.
Oh my God. It's long. It's very long. Yeah, smart. That's very smart. Welcome back to the sports show. I hate it. Thought we were going to get alien answers. We did. We got a couple new theories. Dabbled into the politics world real quick.
Got some knowledge about a classified meeting after the hearing.
Foreign affairs.
Then he, that was wild. I would like everybody to see our reactions as we go off air with what just happened. Not just with Congressman Mike Gallagher, but others as well. Like, oh, I can't believe that conversation just happened. Whatever it is, because we're kind of riding the wave of it all. Congressman Mike Gallagher, he's running for president someday, right?
Yeah,
Needs to.
10.
I'll fucking campaign all across all 50 states for that guy.
That is what UFO Twitter is saying right now, AJ. Mike Gallagher is the face of UFO Twitter, which is a very active Twitter, by the way. Alien Twitter, very active Twitter. And they're like, we like the cut of this guy's fucking jib. He's going to go and get things done for us. And he might, I hope so. But could you imagine he trots out an alien at one of his campaign events?
Needs to.
Be unbelievable.
He's like, look at how good of a unifier is. This is me and somebody from Mars. And they're dancing, like literally having a good time together. Would win immediately. How far in the future is that going to happen? We'll never find out. Welcome back to the show. I don't even know how to transition out of that. Should have done that last hour of the show.
Would you rather now for him to trot out someone from 200 years in the future instead of an alien? I'm almost at that point.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
First off,
That's what I want to see. We find out so much more.
Humans not going to be around in 200 years. So.
Just real quick, potentially. Unless we nuke ourselves to death, is what Mike said.
We need to lower the carbon.
We have one of the largest time travel videos in the history of time travel videos.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. Hundreds of millions of views. No cap. Hundreds of millions of views. With our theory that Matt Groening, the writer of The Simpsons, is a time traveler. So I will dabble in that world, in that field as well, because I am intrigued and interested by it. But if everything is just time travel and there's no aliens, I think I would be kind of bummed.
Yeah, a little bummed if there was no aliens.
There's the plot to Interstellar. Did you ever see Interstellar?
Yeah. You know I haven't. And he referenced 6 movies I've never seen. Terminator, who made it? No,
James Cameron.
Yeah, Jim Cameron.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The Wolf Warrior.
That's what I'm talking about.
Terminator's pretty good.
A human 200 years from now is an alien to us.
True.
It's not going to look like. Does it look like us? Does it speak English? What's it do?
I don't know. I saw Rogan's entire take about how
speaks Chinese.
the body's getting weaker and weaker because everything is tech. Basically, you don't really have to do anything. So maybe 200 years from now, we're just withered little men. See you next hour. Hit it.
Nice.
Nailed it. Nailed it. That was an incredible conversation.
So sweet. He's very well spoken. Like he's very he looks like that's the job he is suited for.
Quick, by the way, too. Like very the way he speaks. There's a lot of words per minute there. His WPM pretty good.
Yeah.
I get impressed by that because the amount, how quick your brain has to be acting whenever you're speaking that quick is something I find impressive. You know, because there's no slowdown, there's no second guess. It's not a filter you're putting on your words. Go ahead and you are hammering things home. He didn't want to tell us anything. He didn't want to be the guy. Okay, I don't want to be the guy that ends up in jail here, but more information's coming.
Devil advocate here. What happens if he's the alien?
Well,
and he's asking all the questions, you know what I'm saying?
Well, then that's the ultimate conspiracy.
Salute to him because he's a goddamn Marine alien too.
Yeah, at least that alien served our country.
That's right.
That's right.
Thank you, alien.
We didn't ask about hybrids.
Demigod, right?
I guess
Is that
kind
what
of, yeah.
Thor's a demigod.
Mm-hmm.
Now Thor is a god. He's a god of thunder.
What is a demigod?
Like Achilles.
Achilles was a demigod.
Yeah.
That's on me. It's godlike powers.
Hold on. There's a good transition. That Achilles, since the beginning of time, has been a fucking miserable, devastating situation. Yesterday, live on Instagram, Tariq Cohen, former running back of the Chicago Bears, now a free agent, was putting a workout live out onto the internet saying, hey, I'm in good shape. Watch this thing go. And in one of the most gruesome, uncomfortable, loudest moments, I think, of live social media, pops his Achilles, looks around, thinks somebody kicks him in the back. That's 8-9 months, right? Achilles is a long time. I mean, for all the medical advancements, the Achilles has always been something that people are like, if it's going to go, it's going to go, and there's really nothing we can do. You can't stretch it. You can't train it. You can't make it stronger. You can hope to maybe make it more secure, but that thing's going to go if it's going to go, and it just so happened to happen on Instagram Live. Completely bummed for Mr. Cohen, AJ Hawk.
He's coming off at least, one ACL, too. Like, he's coming off multiple injuries, too, isn't he?
Yeah, in his personal life too. He's been through as much as of the late in his personal life. He just fully recovered from ACL injury. I mean, that's a bummer, man. That is a bummer. That's what athletes go through, though, and can happen in any given moment. So whenever you see a guy take as much money as he possibly can at the moment that he can, it's because he understands that this ain't maybe not going to be forever, and it's not going to be in his hands or in his control. You think Mr. Cohen had any idea that his Achilles was going to blow yesterday on that live? No. It was the complete opposite. He's like, hey, I'm feeling better than I've ever felt. I'm actually putting this out into fucking public so people can see me do my thing. I want people to see me do my thing. Bang. Something that since the beginning of the demigods, Achilles, you just can't protect for some reason. How come that is the case? Will we ever figure it out?
Well, and that's the kind of thing. I mean, he's obviously super shifty and quick and kind of small, but like you're never getting back to as quick as you were. Like ACL is a different thing now. I feel like the Achilles, like you just lose a step when something like that happens, right? I mean,
what is it? It connects your calf to your foot. What is the Achilles?
Yeah, I mean, I assume that's generally how it works. Yeah, but like it wraps almost under your heel a little bit too. So I think when I don't know all what's considered, like where it considers your Achilles and when it switches to something else, but it's such a, I guess it feels like it's at least such a very thick thing. And think about your foot. To pronate your foot up and down at any time you tear that thing, it's a giant recovery. It's gotten a little faster though now than it used to be.
Well, I would hope so, but it still feels like it's a devastating injury to people. You know, like
I think it's the most devastating right now. Probably.
Me too. And everybody remembers when Kobe tore his and then shot free throws and walked off. That usually never happens because you have zero control of your foot. Your foot is literally just dangling almost because there's nothing to pull it and nothing to keep it going. There was a couple times where throughout the season my Achilles would start to get sore, and your only thought, everything you do is like, is this fucking thing about to tear right now? If my Achilles tears, I'm fucked completely. Zito, you're going to give some Achilles information, it sounded like?
No, I was just saying when it rolls up your whole entire leg, I've heard, and it goes all the way up to your hamstring.
It connects to your calf muscle to the bottom of your foot.
There it is. Look at me. Fucking alien, UFO, time travel.
How about it? I wish
Achilles.
What sucks for him, too, is he heard it doing a drill, too. Like, if he was on a team in a practice in a game, it's different. It sucks. It's in a drill that he's trying to basically show, like, hey, I'm good to go.
I agree. Sorry about it, Tariq. Hope your recovery is quick, Bob.
Is it unheard of for the Bears help him out? Like, is that unheard of? If he was a free agent, like it's the previous team.
I think he
could, but it would have to be someone personally doing it. Like there's all the salary cap issues. They can't be okay. We'll cover everything.
If he was to retire, though, he gets insurance for 5 years, right? Full insurance for 5
He's
years.
not retired though.
But I'm just saying, if you wanted to get this taken care of, you just say you're retired, right? Then you fall right into the.
He's actually still under the NFL insurance, I would assume, isn't he? Being a free agent. How long has he been one?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just this
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, this is going to be I don't know. Will he be able to do workers' comp? There's all that situation because he didn't do it at the facility, but I don't know. It's going to be weird.
There's a lot to figure out. But I'm coming up on the end of my insurance run with the NFL.
Oh.
Thanks, NFL. I mean, probably should be forever, but thanks for 5 years.
New
Thanks for
regime in
5 years.
Chicago too.
What's that?
New regime in Chicago too. Tariq never played for either of the.
Yeah, Poles is a former player. I don't know. I'll be excited to see how it plans out. He's a free agent, so I assume they feel like they owe him nothing, but he'll get that thing taken care of, and hopefully he'll be back better than ever.
Hell yeah.
We're back with Hour 3 in about 30 seconds. AJ Galante will join us 15 minutes in to chat about the big ice wars happening this weekend. Hockey goons will fight each other on the ice. That and more in about 15 seconds. Cheers.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back to that show, Hour 3 on this glorious Wednesday, May 18th, 2022. Shall go now. Yeah. To my left, you're right. A man who's starting to get a costume.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Starting to get an everyday wear, which I do appreciate and I do respect. The long sleeve, hoodless. Is that a t-shirt material or sweatshirt material?
That's kind of t-shirt material.
Oh, is it long sleeve? Yeah.
Yeah, it's long sleeve. It's about to become a baseball cut because I've shrunk it a little bit.
Although 3/4.
I usually cut everything 3/4. Yeah.
Do you really? Because you got good forearms. You want to make sure people see that. You shave your arms and make sure they see the glisten.
No, I don't really like t-shirts and I don't really like long sleeve shirts.
I like me neither. By the way, me neither. I think that's why I wear these.
So it's either tank top or 3/4. I'm 3/4. You're tank top.
Look at us.
Wow.
Look at us.
Together you make a full.
There you go.
Boom.
Damn.
Hands are disgusting.
We should have something come out.
Boom.
Look at us covering all the bases.
Hell yeah.
Talks the tables here at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys turn Diggs is here. And I don't see a better time than right now to potentially have another episode of what we all love to hear.
Oh yeah.
What we all love to watch.
Hell yeah.
The sports show that's been sweeping the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for episode 9 of T4. Tone's Tasty Tournament Talk. NBA, NHL edition. Tone, what do we got?
Yeah, let's start in the association because we are down to the conference finals. Eastern Conference, Western Conferences. 4 teams remain who will move on. And we got a taste of it last night. The Miami Heat, who have not lost at home this entire NBA playoffs, the 1 seed.
Because
Jimmy Butler's
a
dog. I believe he had 41 against the Boston Celtics, who were without Marcus Smart, Defensive Player of the Year, and Al Horford, for some reason, who had to sit out.
Health and
safety in Miami. Is Miami still in Florida?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
It's interesting.
Why?
Yeah, Florida. Fucking, there's a guy down there who ain't wearing no fucking mask.
Yeah.
COVID don't go here?
I don't think COVID do
DeSantis.
go there. Yeah, that's the guy.
So he must have had symptoms then, right?
Yeah, he must have self-reported. And also, I think Miami had different rules. That arena had different rules than everywhere else we had been.
They have
A lot
the
of
dog-
masks down there.
Do we not have the dogs?
No, they did have the COVID sniffing dogs before everybody else. A lot of masks at that Miami arena that we went to when other arenas weren't as much. And last night I seen masks, I think, in a lot of security and the people working. I think the coach of the Celtics had a mask on as well.
Udoka has one. Assistant coach has one. Definitely wasn't self-reported symptoms, though, because he was at the warm-up during the day before the game.
So he coughed or sneezed, and they said, fucking check him.
Or they've been testing?
No.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Why would he be tested?
Well,
I don't know.
So Al Horford out anyways.
Yeah.
Maybe health and safety isn't COVID.
True. Flu or something. He is vaxxed, so.
They usually say non-COVID illness now, though.
They do.
The NBA or everybody?
I don't know if it's NBA. I've heard
The
other
NHL
sports do
does.
it. Maybe the NBA.
Hold on, you can get sick without COVID?
All right. Go
So the Heat go up 1-0.
Jeez. We're already in it right now. You hear me? I just checked my mentions. We are in it right
Western
now.
Conference starts tonight.
Feels like it's immunized Aaron time in here. That's where I feel like I'm
Always
at
good
right
to run
now.
it back every
Tell
once
him
in
to
a while.
call in.
Nah,
Get
what?
everybody.
No, listen. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Western Conference starts tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Here we go.
9 p.m.
Come on.
Eastern tonight.
Come on, Luka.
The Warriors, I believe, are 5.5-point favorites over the Luka Doncic-led Dallas Mavericks. I believe fucking Boban and Luka. If I just saw a picture on the internet, they're out in San Fran right now having a nice little lunch, and Luka's drinking a beer. So,
legend.
They have a game tonight?
Yeah.
Love this
No.
guy.
I don't know
love this
if
guy.
what I saw was true or not.
Is it one of these? Is it one of these?
No, it looks like it's. I'll have to find
Some
it.
foam at the top?
Listen, we've had a lot of information on this program. Okay, we
sure
can't
it's
have
from today?
misinformation right now. Yeah, is it from today? Was it yesterday when they traveled out there?
The tweet doesn't say a lot. I'll find it. I'll fucking find it.
It sounds like it wasn't real. No big
Yesterday.
deal. Let's move on.
I'll
If he
get to
was
the bottom
drinking,
of it.
we will like to let Luca know. If you're drinking beer today, game tonight, and you ball out tonight, respect will be grown by everybody on Earth, even Lil Wayne, who is currently telling Mark Cuban he'll piss in his fucking mouth, ho.
I did not like that because Wayne took the first shot, and he couldn't handle fucking Cuban coming back a little bit at him. That's not my Wayne.
No, Wayne was trying to win. Hit that bitch with that Wayne train. That's what he did at the end. He was just trying to win that thing. I'll piss in your mouth, ho.
Yeah, but then he deleted it.
Mark Cuban, don't make me get you smacked, boy. You playing with me? I will piss in your fucking mouth. Ho. Lil Wayne, Mark Cuban, in a tweet that did get deleted after a give and take about Luka being a hoe. I'll put you front row to the shit show, and then I'll piss in your mouth, ho, on the other side. Lil Wayne and the Dallas Mavericks currently entrenched in a Twitter beef that we can all kind of follow along and observe. Will he be front row tonight for Golden State? Will he be out there? Is Lil Wayne just anybody but this fucking team? Will this continue, or did Mark Cuban call Lil Wayne and say, whoa, okay, delete the tweet, piss in my mouth a little bit too much. Come on, let's be friends. Maybe Lil Wayne will be there with the Mavericks jersey on tonight, or as a guest of Mark Cuban. We'll keep an eye on that situation. Here's the beer tweet. Zito and them just found it. Is that from today?
The tweet's from today.
That's from last night. That looks like sun's going down. That's like 7,
Yeah.
8 o'clock out there.
Definitely just a little
It's
nightcap.
11. They're 3 hours behind us, right?
I
So
guess
this happened at 9 a.m.
That'd be a
today?
morning beer.
Yeah, so this was last night. Diggs, what are you doing?
I'm guessing he's not drinking beers at 9
9
a.m.
a.m. Maybe
just-
European.
I was
huh?
just trying to build the legend of that is Luka.
Okay, well, I think the internet might have been trying to too, and you read it immediately. But I do like the fact that he's out there having a couple beers, sitting in the corner. Hey, nothing to see here. But that guy, he might become the greatest basketball player on earth.
Oh, yeah.
There's a chance that dude right there,
Look
far
at
corner.
Boban's hand.
Yeah, Boban is.
Bro, that's like Andre the Giant with those beers in his hand.
When he was like hugging Chris Paul after the Sun series, he basically palmed the back of his head with his hand. It was unbelievable.
How big?
I think he's 7'1". Yeah,
But they're so tall. Imagine like the attention that they would get just walking into that place. They're such giants.
Everywhere. They did a full documentary about Andre the Giant. How like everywhere he went, he was a spectacle. It was like he had 0 moments in his life except for when he was all by himself at home, where he was not just being looked at basically and judged. And although he was a superstar, I guess there was some moments where he was like he felt like a zoo animal at all times. And I would assume, like I have some friends like Anthony Costanzo, I've hung out with him before. Everybody just immediately stares at the tallest person, the biggest. But like, what the fuck is that thing? Boba, because he's got to have that.
Oh yeah.
He's listed at 7'4".
How 7'4"?
291.
What's Luka?
Luka's what,
6'7"?
6'8", 6'7"?
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, still massive.
Huge human being. How do you feel small, Luca? Oh, I hang out with the 7'4" guy.
My God.
And then they're just, pounding. I hope they're pounding.
Yeah,
he's
he's dunked before just standing on the court. He doesn't really have to jump every
Do
single
you
time.
remember like from the bubble last year when he was in the pool, and he was just standing there? It was like from his knees.
T. Ross told
Oh, yes. How about there's like 4 guys down in IMG, I think, that are like 7'2" that got handles and are just dunking.
Jeez.
High schoolers?
Yes. I'll see down at the IMG Academy. I'll be scrolling through either Twitter or on Instagram, and this video will pop up, and it's this 110-pound person who's 7'2", and there's this big lanky white they got down there, I think, that actually has some handle and shake. If he's going to have to gain about, 120 pounds to get to the point. But I think down at IMG, there's like a bunch of like 7'1", 7'2" guys that are very agile, and they're already putting them into, body preparation and like how to handle the joints for being that tall and the muscles and everything like that. It's like the next generation of the NBA might be bigger, faster, quicker, with better handles than everybody.
Incredible transition by you two, sticking in the NBA to put a little fucking bow on the NBA. You basically described Chet Holmgren, who may go number 1 overall. Last night, Orlando Magic get the number 1 overall pick in the lottery.
Oh, yeah, the Pacers got 7 or 6 or something.
Yeah, they got screwed. Big time.
How did we get screwed?
Because you probably should have been in the top 5.
Yeah, Pistons got screwed too.
They did too, yeah. And the Trailblazers.
And it's really hard not to just think that that's all rigged, right? But why would they want Orlando to have number 1?
Yeah, exactly.
Orlando's not a bad spot to go number 1.
No, Shaq, Dwight.
Penny Hardaway.
Those days are now.
Chris Webber was the third one, but they traded him.
Orlando's a sweet city. I
It
enjoy
is.
Orlando. I was down there. Really hot. I enjoyed
JJ
it.
was there, right? Reddick?
Oh, yeah. I believe he got drafted there, actually.
We just list off players.
They're taking the Duke kid then, huh? Number 1?
Paulo.
Yeah.
No, everybody's saying Jabari, I think.
The Auburn kid.
Jabari Smith, maybe?
It's him, Chet, and the Duke guy.
Keegan Murray, yeah.
Yeah, the Jabari, I think his name is Jabari. I'm not 100% sure, but I saw a bunch of memes of him being very pissed that they got the...
When is the draft?
Who the fuck?
July.
You know, dude.
Go ahead.
There's another kid, too, overseas that is also 7'2", unbelievable handles. Like, that really is the kind of the next generation of the NBA.
I think it's going to happen. Like, back in
Are there any big men? Are there anyone that's just
No.
like that's what's cool about the NBA? Like, oh, this dude's 7 foot, but he also drains threes and he can bring the ball up if you need him to.
Yeah, like Shaq, I think was what.
Yeah,
the
are there any of those guys? Do they can you even survive anymore if you're just a big man?
You can work out and eat your way into that, right? Can't you?
Yeah, I mean, it depends because, like, the guys with handles, like, people said that about Kevin Durant, like, oh, he's too skinny. He'll never, like, be able to be a good player if he doesn't put on weight. And he didn't put on that much weight because of the fact he could still score and dribble all over the place.
Hey, Kevin Durant's an absolute
dog.
I love that guy. I hope he wins again. You know, I hope him and Lamar Jackson just absolutely cooking people on Twitter with zero regard. I am very thankful for, because everybody, you know, that isn't in their direct circle is attempting to tell them to stop doing that. You know, hey, you're too popular. You can't be doing that or whatever. The fact that they just continue, I'm not going to let this shit fly. Like, I love it. I wish there was more of it. If you open the door, people should be able to come in if you would like to get shit talked to. Like, I think that is something that happens, and I think that's why I love KD so much.
KD refers to himself as the god on Twitter, and people hate it. He's like, nope, I'm not going to stop doing it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Speaking of Florida, Tampa Bay Lightning took care of the Florida Panthers last night.
What are we in right now?
4-1.
What are we in?
We are in the round before the finals.
Second round.
The second round.
There's 8 teams
Quarterfinals.
left.
Not the finals.
Quarterfinals.
Conference finals.
Conference
Not
semis.
those.
That's what
Conference semis.
semifinals.
We were in the conference semis.
Hockey's
Back-to-back champs. Lightning take care of the Florida Panthers last night. Avs win in overtime tonight. We've got Rangers and Canes, and the Flames and Oilers in the Battle of Alberta.
Let's go
Canada.
Canes, by the way. Let's go Canes.
Hey,
Let's go Canes. The Battle of Alberta is amazing. Good for all of Alberta up there. I mean, the Calgary Flames are playing great hockey right now.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
We still got a Ginla?
Yeah. He actually scored 2 in the last round.
No.
I think so.
They're fucking lucky, dude.
I don't have a Ginla anymore.
Actually, Johnny Hockey's fucking carrying that team.
You know who's unlucky?
Who's that?
Old Nicky Skates. That's Hockey Talk had a pretty good run this year.
Yeah, great run.
You know, it had a pretty good go and a guest, had good conversations.
Yeah.
Every single team in our office lost in the same round on the same day, basically.
The same game.
It's over. Hockey's over.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, this guy has relations with somebody in the Avalanche. They're going to go on a win, but
Right.
he's not in the office to keep the conversation alive enough. Everybody's odd. And that's Hockey Talk. Maybe had its best year yet.
Yeah.
That a baby, Frank.
Hey.
AJ's
Well
guy
done.
also
Thank you.
checked this morning. Unfortunately, wasn't playing for the Avalanche.
Still there.
Yeah.
Glue guy. Don't
Yeah,
worry about it.
in the locker room.
Joining us
What?
now, although hockey season is officially dead for our office, okay?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because the Pens lost, the Bruins lost,
But
Texas hockey lost. The Red Wings never had a chance. The
No.
Blackhawks are out.
Yeah.
Golden Knights lost to Fan and Tie. The Kraken are done. I mean, everybody in our office is over. And if you're not paying attention to hockey anymore, that's a shame because the Caniacs are definitely going to be awesome, and we'll follow their run as they beat the Rangers, of course, going forward. But there's hockey fighting this weekend.
Yeah.
And it is going to be electrifying. I have no idea what to expect from this other than there's going to be a 320-pound man on skates in full hockey equipment fighting another heavyweight on Saturday night on ice in front of judges. A new sport has been created, a new spectacle, an event that is going to enter our world. Ladies and gentlemen, the founder of the International Ice Wars and one of the owners of the Danbury Trashers, ladies and gentlemen, AJ Galante. What's up, dude? Hey, how we doing?
What's up, guys?
Hey,
how you doing?
Hey, I've been seeing this on NXT, huh? You've been doing great on NXT, pal. We've been enjoying the hell out of it.
Well, listen, we've had a rough few weeks. I was kidnapped 2 weeks ago.
You're back?
Fortunately, you know, the family got me back. Tony D'Angelo, Stacks, 2 dimes. They Legados del Fantasma. They released me, so we're all right. We're gonna get our revenge though. Just tune in. That's all I could say.
Okay, I'm excited for that every Tuesday night, obviously. AJ Galante and Tony D'Angelo and Stacks and
2 dimes.
2 dimes.
Two dimes.
Not
Two
one.
dimes. Yeah.
There was 1 dime. 2 dimes came and kicked that fucking guy out.
Yep.
Hey, I ain't about 1 dime. I'm with 2 dimes. They are currently entrenched in a battle. And I don't know if it's turf war or what the hell you guys got going on with Escobar and his crew. But, I mean, it got ugly when you got kidnapped. We were all worried.
Yeah. Word sick.
We sent out a full group text like, hey, is AJ going to be able to make it back by the International Ice Wars next Saturday? Happy to see you're okay.
Thank you. Yes, I'm all right. We're rather not talk about the issues. We got to keep that amongst the family. I'll fill you in when I see you next time. But we will. Santos Escobar is going to get his. Let's just put it that way.
Whoa! Wow. Can't wait to watch. Obviously, Comeuppance is a real thing. The International Ice Wars inaugural event this weekend on Fight TV. I think it's $19.99. Starts at 9 p.m. The free-for-all pre-show starts at 8 p.m. I'm looking at some of these fighters. There's an 8-man heavyweight King of the Ring tournament. Is that all happening on Saturday night? This whole King of the Ring tournament's happening on Saturday night.
1 night tournament, single elimination, basically 3 rounds, okay? First round, semifinals, and then the finals, okay? Crowning our first ever heavyweight King of the Ring.
Whoa! Look at the crown! Whoa.
I don't want to put it on. That's,
Yeah.
that's like raising the cup. But yes, we will have our first King of the Ring crowned this Saturday. And we got 3 single non-tournament bouts, okay? And I want to give you the exclusive, Pat. You guys know you guys are my family. I haven't even put it on social media yet. I'm going to do it tonight.
Whoa.
I have a pair of brothers that will be fighting in the free-for-all at Ice's War on Saturday. 2 Calgary boys, brothers, blood brothers, okay? Play on different teams up there in Alberta. They want to, there's been some controversy, who's the better son with the mother. There's controversy, who's the better player. We are going to see the biggest brother versus brother fight since Kane and Undertaker.
Whoa!
Saturday night.
On ice.
Mark my words.
On ice, on skates. And for those that don't know what this is, we talked about this at its announcement like 5-6 weeks ago. Congrats on getting to Fight Week, by the way. You got to be pumped. There is 8 men in the heavyweight King of the Ring tournament. Daniel, Diamond Hands, Amsbury, Justin, Bonesaw, Sawyer, Cowboy, Curtis Swanson, Derek, the Lion. Parker. Chase, the Fighting Carpenter. Tippin. Hey, same profession as Jesus Christ. Let's
Hell
go,
yeah.
Chase.
Look out. Thank you, Jesus.
Alley Train. Corey Allen. The Beast. Jean-Francois LaFrance. And standing at a staggering 6 foot something on skates, weighing in at 320 pounds, Travis Buckethead Levitsky will be fighting in the King of the Ring tournament on Saturday night. AJ, listen, this is going to be... What the fuck? Honestly, I've tried to think about this in a couple different things. If that big guy can't skate, he's going to lose, right? This is a big deal. Being able to skate, I think, is a massive advantage that might not get considered. All these guys, former hockey players that were goons, good fighters. What are you expecting out of the fights, AJ?
These guys legitimate. Let's go to Travis Levitsky because I think he's the dark horse in this competition. I believe he played professional football up in Alberta. He was a defensive lineman. These guys up in Canada, they're born with skates on. This guy can skate. When I first saw the name come across my desk, I was like, this is a joke, right? I got footage. The guy legitimately plays now. He can skate. And I got to tell you something, man. If he grabs hold of you, it's going to be tough. There is a strategy to this, okay? I mean, the cardio, these guys in the cardio, they've been working on it for about 6 weeks now because, 1 minute rounds in hockey is in a hockey fight is an eternity, okay? And, Buckethead gets his mitts on you, man. I mean, that's a long minute, okay? And it's going to be very, very interesting. We're actually a little concerned one of our jerseys isn't going to fit him. So we're trying to figure out as we speak what, a contingency plan, but I'm not kidding. This guy is an animal. All those guys you named, some of those guys, Derek Parker, Curtis Swanson, these guys, look, in minor league circles, these guys are legends of the game. And you know what? They got one more run left in them, and they're chomping at the bit, man.
AJ, you don't have those crazy restrictions that the NHL does where they make them like strap down their sweater and everything. Now, are we going to see old school pull the jersey over the head, blast them in the face 30 times and knee them?
Yeah.
Like, are we going to see all that?
Listen, it's one of those situations where it's an unwritten thing, maybe not to do it, but these guys, this is a different sport. This isn't hockey. I mean, these guys are like, listen, these guys are going out there, and I promise you, I'm sounding like a true promoter, but I promise you'll never see anything like this. I mean, there are some big boys. I don't even think we have a full set of teeth amongst all of them, to be honest with you. And I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be crazy. I mean, brother versus brother. I mean, you got the 8-man King of the Ring tournament. You got a couple other single bouts, young kids looking to make a name. I mean, it's going to be.
Did you get
insane.
AJ? Did you by chance brother versus brother? Did you any with your time at NXT find Elias and Ezekiel? That would be a big battle if we ever find them.
There's been a lot of rumblings about that. I mean, even in the NXT locker room, which I'm slowly getting involved with down there. I mean. No one's seen the two of them together, but I mean the resemblance is uncanny. I mean, I can't wait till they tag.
Yeah, they're brothers. Same womb, of course. It's
his younger brother.
Oh, yeah. It is. Hi, I'm Ezekiel. Elias's younger brother. That guy wears pink trunks. He wouldn't lie.
Guy's awesome.
Nah, he doesn't. He definitely doesn't strike me as a liar. I definitely don't think so.
Elias graduated literally from our high school with Nick.
Yeah.
And we had trouble remembering the younger brother of Elias. We've literally known him since he was, like 13 years old.
Yeah.
So we had trouble remembering, and Ezekiel said, no, there's a couple times, remember I came in.
I was in the car.
Nick, you're a bad friend because you
Yeah.
didn't know Elias had
I thought his name was Ezra. I don't know.
Oh, see, that could have been a
Well, that's
thing.
different.
That could have been a thing. What happens if they fall down on the ice? In actual hockey, you get to the ground, the refs stop it, basically. You kind of go to the penalty box. You go to the ground. Does the clock stop? Is it a running clock like in soccer and they add extra time? Do they stand them back up? Are we going to see ground and pound? How's this go?
No ground and pound. So there is a point system, okay? So if there is a knockdown, if a guy's knee touches, anything other than, it's really at the ref and judge's discretion, really the ref's discretion, what's considered a knockdown or not. There is a 10 count if a guy gets down, it's a hard shot or whatever. So a lot of similarities to boxing, how it's scored. And be some stoppages, be some knockouts. And like I told you, a few months back, I mean, there's no draws. Okay, so if after 2 rounds it goes to a draw, it goes to an immediate, kind of like a sudden death icebreaker round. So like the refs raise both guys' hands and it's right on site there, like icebreaker round. There can never be a draw in Ice Wars. So it's going to be a lot of fun, man.
How excited are you for this? You're just a few days out for it. A lot of work has gone into to this from you, I'd assume. And how pumped are you for the event to happen and then for it to be over with?
Anxious, you know, I mean, just super anxious. You know, I'm a perfectionist. You know, the whole team, we got a great team, as you know, and we're just, chomping at the bit. The last time, to bring a parallel to it, the last time I felt this anxious was right before the Trashers started, okay? Because there was like days where I felt this is going to work. There's days where I honestly was like, oh, God, this may not work. Last time I felt like that was October 15th, 2004, when I was 17 with the Trashers. So, it's a hot button issue. There's a lot of hockey snobs out there that are very, hoity-toity about this stuff. And
really?
I get down on them. I'm like, listen, this isn't hockey. There's no pucks, no sticks. What are you worried about? It's prize fighting on ice. And you know what? It's one of those things where if people act like they're not interested, they're probably lying. They're probably going to tune in. They're probably going to look at the Instagram and they're going to want to see what's going on.
Yeah, I think your second event is going to be one that, like this first one, everybody's like has no idea what to expect, or people might not have heard of it. But then when some clips hit the internet, of a 320-pound guy on skates, fucking wheeling up to another guy, and then he has maybe 2 fights in a night, 3 fights. I mean, it is. Hey, let's go do the thing this weekend, AJ. Ty has a question for you.
AJ, how did you mentioned like the brother versus brother, but how did the matchmaking process go? Like, was it tough at all saying like, hey, if this guy ends up fighting this guy in the first round, like this guy may end up killing him? Like, were you worried about that, or does it seem like all these guys are kind of fairly even in terms of how good fighters they are?
Yeah, I mean, so our 8-man, the heavyweight tournament, the King of the Ring tournament, all the guys are pretty. So we haven't even drawn yet. When we do the weigh-in on Friday, we're doing basically a bracket lottery. So nobody knows who's fighting each other in the first round yet. But I will say everyone is pretty equally matched. There are some mismatches possibly in terms of weight, Buckethead, and I think our smallest guy is Diamond Hands at like 230. So, there are maybe weight-wise some mismatches, but in terms of skill and fighting skill, it's all pretty equal. So, after our weigh-in on Friday, it's going to go to a draft. I mean, I don't even know who, seriously, I don't even know who's fighting who, the first round. So
how are you doing that?
Find out on spot.
How are you doing that? You throwing darts? You shooting pucks? How you doing the random?
We're doing the old school lottery, those lottery drums. We're going to spin it up. I think we got some ping pongs, and we're writing, and whatever comes out, and do a ceremonial face-off, and that's it. Guys won't have a lot of time to strategize who they're fighting, and I think that's what makes us kind of unique.
I'm excited to see how it goes. Go ahead, Connor.
AJ, have you announced who the judges are going to be, and are there any guys that used to play, pro puck or no?
Yeah, absolutely. All the judges, okay? The only requirement to be a judge with us is if you are considered either an old hockey enforcer or a current one, okay? So really, we got guys, some may be familiar, Brad Wingfield, John Morasti.
Wing Kong!
The Trashers. Yes. So, all the judging are going to be, the judging is going to be judged by guys who've done it before. You know what I mean? And they know what to look for. And there is an actual system, whether people believe it or not. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And like I said, there might be some current and potential future Ice Warriors that are judging. We might get some spicy decisions where, a judge could get called out at the next Ice Wars if a guy who loses or even wins isn't really fond of the guy judging. So it's going to be wild, man. It's stuff you don't really see on a regular basis.
This is a hysterical concept. You know that. Like everything you're saying right now, people are like, this is ridiculous.
Of course.
But there's a lot of people, I'd assume, that wanted to get into this whenever they heard about it in the hockey fighting world, because being the toughest dude on the ice is a big deal. Nick, why are you hockey snobs not happy about the International Ice Wars?
Don't lump me in with that bucket, Pat. I think AJ here is referring to the more analytics crowd, the people who don't like to see the big hits, people who are all about safety.
We
or at
ain't
least
about
claim
that,
to be
right?
about safety.
This is sport. This is sport competition.
Hell yeah.
Now we hope everybody's okay in the future.
Yes.
Listen, no one wants to see anyone get no one wants to see anyone get seriously hurt. But it's a combat sport. It happens. But the difference is, dare I say, give us a few events, and dare I say that our combat sport will be amongst the safest out of all of them, including boxing, which I'm involved in every day to this day. And I'm telling you, our fights are technically safer than an NHL fight. That's a fact. Our guys are wearing MMA-style gloves, which not only helps, with head damage and trauma, but also, listen, if you talk to hockey guys, a lot of the problems with fighting is, you're banging a bare fist on a helmet, okay, breaking hands, fingers, wrists, forearms. It's not going to be a problem with us.
How's the old man?
Oh, you know him. He's probably on the oil truck listening as we speak. You know what I mean? He's I think he loves you more than me at this point.
No. And, can't happen. But he's a legend, that guy, man. It's been cool getting a chat with him.
Nah, he's super excited. He's we joke how he unfortunately can't enter Canada right now, or else he would be there. But he's everything. I run through everything with him, and he gives me a lot of cool ideas, and it's kind of cool. It comes full circle getting involved with something like this with him, and brings back a lot of memories of the old days, back with the Trashers and, everything else.
Yeah, it's awesome to see you guys working together again. Cannot wait to watch this weekend. Fight TV, 9 p.m., 8 p.m. kickoff show that has two brothers battling against each other. Good luck with your first event, and here's to many, many more, AJ, huh? How about it, pal?
Thank you, fellas. All the best. Love you guys.
Hey, love you too, Paisa. Hey, AJ Galante. Hey. Thank you, AJ. That's going to be insane. I have no idea what to expect. When they were laying out what it was to me, like before it was announced, I was like, can't be real. Can't be real what you're doing. They're like, no, we're going to have a fucking event. And Jimmy was like, you think I'm lying to you? Like, I'm like, no. I don't think you're lying to me, but this sounds insane right now. Like, what are you talking? Who are the judges? Well, they're guys that know what they're doing, and they might end up fighting too. I mean, if people don't like the decision, they might call them. I'm like, they're creating a new sport almost. And I think if this first one can generate enough moments, which I don't see why it couldn't, feels like all the ingredients are there, they could have some real success with this thing. And you don't need 100 million people. You don't need 2 million people to buy into a company, especially if you keep it small and keep it entertaining, keep it clips. Like, this could become something for a group of people. Like, you think Buckethead ever thought he would become a professional in anything other than, that football run that he had? Now he's getting a chance to showcase some more and work and hopefully earn some money and a crown out there.
Can you imagine that clip if it goes to a round 3 and they lift up both arms and just one guy super quick sucker punches the other guy, knocks him out because it seems like it's kind of a scramble to like.
No, there's going to be rules.
Yeah.
It's a code amongst the king of the ring.
No, it sounded like if both of their arms get raised at the same time, it's immediately boom. Hey, go! Quickest punch wins.
I don't know if they're going to blindside anybody. You think Bucketheads?
You think they're doing
I mean,
if Buckethead.
Listen, I think Buckethead's going to do whatever he can do to win the crown.
He said that if he gets his paws on you, that's going to be a long 1 minute. And my immediate thought was, I don't think Buckethead wants this thing to go 1 minute. I think Buckethead's 10 seconds or no seconds.
Yeah.
I'm worried about Diamond Hands going up against Buckethead because there's a chance Diamond Hands might die because he's 90 pounds lighter than Buckethead.
Diamond Hands proved to not be that winning of a strategy in the long run, right?
No, not at all.
Well, have you
Did
ever
you
seen
see?
fucking
Do you know who
Bobby
Diamond Hands
Lashley
is?
versus Omos?
Yeah, hold. Right?
Braveheart?
Diamond Hands?
Mm-hmm. Are they going to do a Braveheart style fight, like a full brawl with like 10 people?
Should.
That's what, when I heard them like explaining a sport that I thought would never, ever be able to be something. But then I see these clips from like, I think it's Russia, where it's 5-on-5 team fights in a cage and people are like 2-on-1 when somebody gets knocked out. I'm like, how is that something? Professionally broadcasted, crowd there, tickets, regulations, a ref. I'm like, holy shit, that's insane. So this happening, like, I'm very excited for it. I think it's going to be, honestly, I think there's going to be some moments that are going to come out of it that are going to be incredible. This is from the original one. They ran one pilot test one like years and years and years ago. Now they're reinventing it and rebirthing it and reimagining it in a different way. And AJ's all in. I'm pumped for AJ and Jimmy to be all in on this thing.
I mean, you're right. Like, this could be all. I am absolutely intrigued. I want to see.
Bro, look at the fucking buzzsaw. Think about the buzzsaw, or the bone saw. What's that, AJ?
No, think how tired you'll be. Is that Bonesaw right there we see fighting?
That's what I'm saying. Bonesaw might have a buzzsaw of rights.
Yeah. Be careful.
And are they just skating right in like it's boxing? Because he said it's more like boxing on ice. Or are they grabbing?
Is there like a boundary in the line where you can't skate away from them, can you? I would assume they try to keep you reined in somewhere on the ice.
It was a smaller rink the original one was like a smaller rink.
Like blue line to blue line.
Yeah.
These guys know what they're signing up for, AJ. Ain't nobody skating away from each other.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, a guy eats a few shots, he realized, hey, diamond hands are much tougher than I thought. I might want to back away here. How does he get out?
Yeah, because you can skate. Oh, speaking of skating, I don't even know if we can show this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I think
the person who filmed, I'd assume, numerous scenes of Winning Time, this Los Angeles Lakers dynasty comedy documentary that is pissed off people that are in it, that are being portrayed in a particular fashion, but fans have absolutely loved it. I've enjoyed the hell out of watching it. I haven't kept up with it. Is there more episodes going?
Yeah, there's 10 total.
Yeah, I think it's finished now.
I love the first 6 episodes, 6 episodes. I mean, I think we all got captivated by it. But a video hit the internet of how they're filming some of the basketball scenes, and there is a superstar on roller skates that was involved in the production. Watch this. Look at, can we click on that or no? That's Instagram. You can't do it, huh?
Yeah, Instagram's weird. I could do this and hold it.
Look
Oh, no,
at-
he's on blades.
This guy's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, watch him from the beginning of this thing, though. Like, they have an entire crowd, you know? Wow. I bet you everybody in the stands just watching this. Look at that fucking guy out there. And then he stops. Wait, we're going the other way. Boom. Let me get Kareem Abdul-Jabbar here a little bit on a close-up.
Unbelievable.
Foxy, we need to add that to the repertoire.
I love this guy. I mean, I absolutely love it.
Yeah. All right, let's get to a break. We appreciate AJ joining us. We appreciate the congressman joining us. We appreciate Darius Butler joining us. And on the other side, you know who joined us?
Who's that?
Who's that?
Folks on the 5 Energy Phone.
hell
yeah.
Those are my favorite.
1-833-4-McAfee. Let's bring this day home.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let's bring this Wednesday home on a phone line, AJ.
Hell yeah.
Let's do it. Diggs excited. He said that's his favorite part of the show, right? The callers?
Yep.
Diggs been saying a lot today. Today's been a big Diggs day.
All right, I'll settle down.
No. Don, you saddle that horse any day you want to saddle that horse.
That's right.
Anytime you want to ride out of the barn and do all your tone dig stuff, you do what you got to
Listen,
do.
when I get a chance to talk to the future president of the United States of America, I kind of get a little fired up.
Back and forth, 1-833-4-McAfee. 5 Energy phone line. Cannot wait to chat with you. We'll see you then. We are live in the home of the Trashers, alongside 2 of the greatest Pisons of all time, AJ and Jimmy Galante. What the fuck is International Ice Wars, and why is this going to be the most electrifying thing of all time?
This is a brand new sport. I figured we'd just cut out the middleman of the hockey and we bring in just the hockey fights.
Since we have one of the most famous Italian families in American history, I would like to clarify some things. Am I allowed to just do this randomly?
Anytime
Yeah,
you
why
want,
not?
don't worry about it.
Hockey. Let's get rid of the puck. Let's get rid of the stick. Let's just have these 2 Goliaths fight each other. Is this what hockey is in the future, you think?
Pat, there's an old adage that people say, I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out, and I think this is what we have here. You guys have captured the essence of it.
Am I allowed to emoji with both hands? Am I allowed to do this?
You can do whatever you
Whatever
want.
you
Pat.
Whatever I want?
You do whatever you want.
How many fights May 21st?
We have an 8-man heavyweight tournament on May 21st. We have 2 weight divisions, 200 and up and 199 and down.
Am I allowed to do the hey, how's the mozzarella? You know, just take it all up. Look, he's getting tight over there. Hey, what's going on with the mozzarella? Hey, can I get the little Vaseline? Hey, a little gabagool. Am I allowed to do that?
I have no problem.
AJ?
Yeah, I like it.
How you doing?
The thing I think people will like is it's hard to sit through 10, 12 rounds of boxing.
I get tired doing this.
Yeah, exactly. Each fight is 2 1-minute rounds.
There's a thing that rhymes with a certain brand of pop. I believe it's called Faygo Pop.
What kind of pop?
It's Fago with an F. If I was to substitute that F, put a
I
D
see
in
what
it,
you're doing. Yeah.
am I allowed to, hey, what's going on? Look at us. Word. Am I allowed to say that?
I don't care.
Look at us.
We gonna pop the tops off, or we go bare knuckle?
They're wearing full hockey gear,
Okay.
helmet down to skates, but they do wear 4-ounce MMA style gloves.
Intros, how are intros?
I think it's going to be very WrestleMania-esque.
Pyro?
Yes, very WrestleMania-esque.
Hey, are you going to be in there just throwing money at the winner?
I would love to be able to go to Canada, but I'm not allowed in the country.
Because of, Hey, you fucking have nothing to say over there. Life just got so much better.
Do whatever you want.
Hey. What does the winner get? A title belt?
Oh, no. King of the ring, you get a crown.
Who is the judges?
The judges are going to be the current or previous hockey enforcers who know what to look for, rather than randoms like in boxing who've never boxed.
Do you plan on any ex-NHL goons getting in?
Hey, we'd love to if they're not scared.
Hey, come get a couple stick taps.
There's a lot of NHL guys that are super excited for this.
How do we know that the judges aren't gonna be paid off?
Yeah, because, you know,
to curb the people that may be some prejudice because of our front office staff, we have 5 judges per fight instead of 3. So it's easy to pull one guy out, but with 5 it's a little more difficult, so just in case. And here's the best part, if one of the judges is a current fighter, okay? If we have a fight and you lose on the cards and you don't like it, you call out a judge for the next Ice Wars and fight them.
Most guys have tried different ways to last longer, but thinking about how aliens are real doesn't always work.
Not always.
That's why the folks at Roman, an online men's health company, are changing the game with Roman Swipes, the secret to longer lasting sex.
Hell yeah.
Roman Swipes are a clinically proven way to last longer in bed. They're effective, easy to use, and fast acting, but they don't require a prescription.
Wow.
Just take the swipes out of the packet, swipe it on, let it dry, and you're good to go. That's it.
Hell yeah.
Go to GetRoman.com/Pat and get $10 off your first order of swipes plus free 2-day shipping. That's GetRoman.com/Pat for $10 off your first order of swipes and free 2-day shipping.
Big shout out to Roman for helping people perform their best in the sack. To my left, your right, AJ Hawk. Great Reed, Ty Schmidt, Boston Connor. Your hair looks amazing.
Thank you, Pat. Yours as well. Is that a longer chain? Is that a new one or
No,
no?
I've had this for a couple of weeks now. It's a,
nice.
it is a little longer though.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a great chain.
Has been different. Has been different. I had 2 on there for a couple of days.
Okay. Yeah.
Too much for me.
Okay.
Too much for me. It was too much. This one, okay, you know, it adds a little decoratory look to the tank top that I wear every single day of my life. So I do appreciate that. But AJ pointed it out one time. It did start as a little bit of ironic situation, has now become a thing that I'm scared to get away from because I enjoy it so much. It's fun. It's fun. It's great. It's good. You know what I mean, AJ? Maybe you should get one with this black T-shirt, the 3/4 thing you got going on. Huh?
Maybe I should. Yeah, maybe I need to get some accessories. But that doesn't unsnap, does it? Does that fit over your head?
Yeah, it fits over my head. It unsnaps as well.
You got to get them pretty big to actually fit over your head, though.
Yeah, I know. Listen, you and me, big-brained individuals, it is not easy, not all sizes. And I think that is why I went with the super long one, because most of them don't fit over the head.
Yeah.
But now I got to deal with a little bit long in the front, you know? So when I'm golfing, that thing is hanging right in eyesight. So you got to tuck it into the tank top, make sure you're getting good hacks, because Tahoe's right around the corner, AJ, and you're not taking it serious enough.
I guess, what makes you think that?
I haven't seen you hit a ball.
Yeah.
I haven't posted any highlight films of myself making putts and hitting good shots.
Is it 2022 or not? If you're not posting it, you're not doing it. Fucking final answer.
That was just film. It wasn't highlights either.
Yeah, that was just randomly selected clips. That was randomly selected shots.
Yeah.
We had 20 of them that we filmed, and those were randomly 5 of them.
Yep.
Couple putts, couple shots, a drive. It was like we'll randomly select it. Just so happened to be 2 makes. Great shot.
Hey, that's the way it shakes out sometimes.
Just got real.
Release them all if you want.
Yeah, if you would like all the shots that we have, we'll do that next time.
It's always there.
Whenever I play golf this year, I'm gonna have hopefully I can get someone to film a lot of my shots, and Evie, I'll send them to you, and you can put a highlight film of mine together.
All right,
perfect.
We'll randomly select those clips. Send us them all.
I'll send everything I shoot, no question.
That's what we do. We put every single shot into the randomizer, and we say, all right, just pick 5 of them, and that just so happens to be the ones that we put out.
Yeah, perfect.
That's how it goes.
Why not? Honestly, why don't you can win this thing? Just go win the tournament year 1, man.
We got a horseshoe shoved up our ass over there.
Exactly. And there were better shots in that reel that didn't make the cut because they weren't in the random.
Kind of bummed, actually.
Yeah.
Kind of bummed.
I believe it. Wasn't Connor on a bachelor party during this?
Yeah.
Yeah. He saw the
Saw the
clips.
footage.
Though.
I saw 'em all.
There's a
What do you mean?
randomizer in here.
What are you doing? You think the guy's not watching film? What are you nuts?
We're trying to win fucking Tahoe, dude. This is a we thing, not a me thing. Big team, little me.
dude.
You should maybe learn about
My
this.
God. Okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly. It is cool what we got going on.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you, boys.
Thank you. You got it.
Thank you, boys. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, man.
What a fucking environment. What a culture we got here.
Yeah, truly.
Gumpy's drinking those beers just
What?
dying all around.
Hell yeah.
For the good of the team.
Anything for the lads.
Blue guy. AJ wouldn't get it.
Wouldn't. Maybe swing a club before we get to Tahoe, though, AJ, because you got 50K riding on that thing. And if
I'll
I
swing a
lose,
few. We'll see how it goes.
you've been working in the sim, huh? I forget you got a sim in the base.
I'll hit balls in there, but man, I thought going into last year in Tahoe, I'm like, okay, this is the first time I actually used this thing and hitting here. I mean, somewhat consistently, I guess. And then I got out there, I'm like, this does not feel like it does downstairs on the mat. That's for sure.
See, that's what like Justin Thomas told me. I feel like this. Obviously, it's different. That helps though. Just
It's
getting
got to
a
help.
a
You would think
repeatable
swinging's
swing.
got to help. But thing about golf that's tough for me is when I actually finally do go play a real round, every stance is uneven. Like ball below your feet, ball above your feet. All that is a big deal compared to just being flat all the time.
Well, no, because the
Oh
mat.
no, because I'm golfing in Air Forces some days.
Yeah.
and Matt has
I'm golfing
two.
in J's some days.
Your Hokas give you an extra 9 inches.
Exactly. So that's downhill lie.
Yeah.
Okay.
right.
So we've been
okay,
doing
maybe
this.
I need some Hokas to help.
The mat is the rough too.
You can also walk in them. They'd be great. Go ahead.
The mat has like the rough on one side. and
I
then it's
have
got
not
the
used that
fairway.
side, I will say.
The rough side?
Yeah, I have not.
Hitting off fairway.
Just like when I was with the Colts, it's like, all right, I will give me 10, 15 into the wind so I can work on it if it pops up, but let's spend the majority of the day with the wind at the back. I would like to see this ball fucking fly. My confidence is much more important than whatever we could find in the continuing to punt the ball 25 yards into this stiff wind. There's some people that enjoy that though. Like, yeah, give me the tough conditions so that the game is easier or whatever. It's like, not me. I want to go in there thinking I'm the fucking man. And if I end up dying, I end up dying. But there's a chance. Like, for instance, I got off the fairway. I got off schedule a little bit. Picked up a couple doubles on those. Picked up a couple doubles on those holes. Behind a tree, dead. Couldn't find the shot. I had hit a nice flop shot, but that was 4-6 on that particular hole. So I can find myself in some trouble. That's why this year is not the winning year. This year is just to build up the callus of being in front of a lot of people golfing and on TV. If I'm lucky enough to get invited back next year, we're playing for keeps.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's also the difference, though, of just playing out there with us on like a Saturday, and like if you're playing a competitive round, like you're trying to from behind a tree. It's like, all right, I'm trying to hit this within 10 feet of the hole. Like instead of just being like, all right, I'm fucked here. I need to just chip one out into the fairway, and then I'll assess from there. Like you're doing that kind of stuff in a competitive round.
Your intent behind every stroke when you're actually trying much different. Like putting even. Like, all right, I'm a fucking
It makes it way different. No, but I'm saying like in Tahoe, when it does matter, putting obviously for everybody is very, very important. So there's guys that go through the whole tournament that never 3-putt. And there's been rounds where I have 3 and 4 putted 10 times, like in one round. Like there's different tiers to the greens, So if the pin is up on this tier, let's say the pin is down here at the bottom, and then you hit it up at the top, you got to putt it 50 yards, then down a 30-foot hill, and then there's a hole somewhere. So you're going to putt it off the green. I'm like, that's like a 3-putt's good from there.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because Steve's greens on Steve's course much different than the course, the $400 course this weekend. And I assume Tahoe's going to be a little bit different.
Tahoe's not crazy hard. It's not like a super difficult course. Like that's why those guys that can play consistent golf and not hit it out of bounds all the time, like people like me, they score well.
So it's drive chip, basically most of the holes?
Should be driver wedge into everything, honestly, if you can hit it far.
I mean,
we got to get on the course on the wedges, 70 yards out.
70 yards in.
That's what we got to do.
I've been trying to figure out which wedge I want to use. I got a 60 degree in there. I can't fucking hit, but I can hit my sand wedge 56 every time. I just need to get more comfortable with that. We got what, 2 months? A month?
2 months. Right after 4th of July.
Yeah, a month and a half.
We got nothing but time.
Nothing but time.
Hey, how about kicking into a net? Would you equate that to hitting into a net golf-wise?
I think so, yeah. I enjoyed kicking into the net, too, by the way.
DeChambeau hits into the net. He just posted a video. He's
Yeah.
working on his game.
And a bunch of pitchers throwing in.
Yeah, and baseball players hit into the net.
All right, let's go to the phones.
Yeah, you just got to eventually play real golf.
What do you mean?
Who has the time?
I mean, hey, buddy, that's what I'm telling you.
Tiger started his career hitting into a net.
Oh, we got a big boost for Tiger.
Hell yeah.
We got a big boost for Tiger. Obviously, tomorrow in the PGA Championship.
Yeah.
For Tiger to score a par or better in the first round. Okay, so that's tomorrow. It went from like plus 160 to like plus 250 or something.
Wow. Hell
Let's
yeah.
go. He played golf with the director of golf for the course just a week ago. He's going to shoot par or better. Did you see that flop he just casually hit?
Oh, yeah.
Tiger Woods is going to score par or better tomorrow because Tiger Woods is back, baby. Hell yeah. Plus 250, AJ, you like it? I like this one a lot.
I love this. What are the odds on Phil to shoot par at round 1?
Okay.
Well, Phil's not playing.
He dropped out.
He won the tournament last year. What do you mean he's not playing?
Plus 700,000 right now, I think, on some books for
He's
Phil.
not in the field?
No, he's not in the field.
Okay.
I'm seeing
That's
a
stupid. He's
better
the
odds.
defending champ. I assumed he was. My bad.
Well, I don't know about
Must be
stupid.
hurt.
A lot of people would say it was not stupid, but I love the fact that you just couldn't help yourself.
Is this I know he takes that medication for his arthritis. Is that acting up?
In the coffee?
Nope.
Coffee still works.
No, he said some. I mean,
He's leaving the tour, isn't he?
yeah, I think he said some things about the PGA. Some other things that were very despicable and terrible, and he said, but that's all better than the way the fucking PGA Tour operates, basically. And now the PGA Tour, I think they're kind of wielding their sword a little bit. And I don't know if we're ever going to see Phil back in the PGA.
Phil was allowed to. The PGA said he could come. He chose not to come.
Yeah, but, what does that really mean?
He was enrolled and then he dropped out.
Yeah, what does that really mean?
Tiger threatened to fucking give him a wedgie.
What a scene. What a situation.
But-
It's the world we're in right now. What are the updated odds?
Oh, yeah.
Plus 300.
Here we go,
Oh,
boys.
my God.
What's that mean?
We got
Par
some
is 70 though, not
inclement
72.
weather moving in, maybe?
Bro, anytime FanDuel gives us something like this, there's a reason. I don't like that at all, actually. I don't like that it was originally
Oh,
listed.
this is what, 70 or under? What is par? I mean, is
Par
par
70?
70?
Isn't par 72?
Well, no, it changes for every course.
Yeah.
Each course is different.
I
But
thought the.
that's stupid. Why have par 70? I want always 72.
Is par 70?
Let me find out.
I don't know, but some courses it is.
Par 70.
Then why?
Okay.
What's going on?
That's nice.
Yeah, something.
That's a great
You guys got a
boost.
big old rainstorm happening?
Yeah. Obviously, you hear it, so do we. It's kind of making me a little dreary, a little tired. What? Bummer
First time
place.
it's rained in fucking forever. Grass needed it.
Yeah.
All right, big boost. Just bet it. Huge.
Here we go.
Let's ride.
I got to get back on the winning side of things. I've been losing.
Great
a lot.
group too, right? Tiger, Jordan, and somebody else. Great group.
Power group. Going out
Rory.
at what? 10?
Rory.
9? What is it? 8-11. Great.
Nice.
I
Good
think
call.
that's Central.
Oh, so 9-11.
Here we go.
Eastern
Okay.
time. Let's go.
What network?
TNT.
This is always the thing. We can't fucking find it. Is there an app that we need to download and
This
follow?
one's actually not bad. Normally they broadcast the PGA Championship more than the other ones.
Okay, that's great news. Can't wait to watch. Let's go to Adam in Ohio on the 5 Energy phone line. Adam, what's going on, pal?
Pat, boys, how we doing?
Hey, Adam, keep it
Keep
moving.
moving.
Hey, in the spirit of UFOs, I got something out of this world. All right, last week we learned Boston Connor, worst gambler in the office.
Oh,
Having a mullet myself, Having a mullet myself, I take offense to that. But Sunday, my man wakes up from his dreams of giving Rap Sheet a wedgie, sweeps Celtics minus 25.5, Game 7 Sunday. Hit. He's not done. Yesterday, Game 1 of the Eastern Finals, Grant Williams, 3-point first basket. Hit. Connor, you're on fire, my guy.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I like that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Hey, a little motivation. I didn't know you were on a heater again. Why have you been so quiet? When you stink, you're loud.
Yeah,
You're on a
because-
heater. You're quiet.
25.5 hit, but I didn't hit any of the other bets because nobody really scored what they were supposed to score. And last night, that was the only bet I hit, so I came out basically even on
But
the night.
you got to remember, we're heater hunting, dude.
Yeah.
You are on a heater. We've been hunting you. Fuck.
Sorry, Warriors going to win it all. Someone put a bet on the Warriors to win it all for me.
Did you have Celtics money line last night?
Yeah, I did. Exactly. That's my point.
This touchscreen
Tatum
fucking
scored
stinks,
40.
dude. I can't even.
I didn't even know Dell had that technology.
Well, I think that's why we got it to begin with, but this is 5 years ago.
Yeah, I would not use that touchscreen.
What?
Do you ever use a computer other than an Apple?
I don't use computers, period. This one sits here every day. This one sits here as well. I'm an iPhone guy. Like, I walk into, let's say meetings where people have these fucking laptops, and I just pull my phone out, and they like kind of look at me thinking like I'm texting or not paying attention. It's like, I have all the capabilities of what you're doing right here. Okay, I'm sorry about it, but there's some people that love the laptop games. Obviously, our intern does not.
Oh, no, it's because he has a $15,000 supercomputer.
Hey, this dude's pretty cool. We got some cool dudes in here, I think.
Oh, you actually like him?
Yeah, coming around.
Yeah.
Seem to have a little initiative, work hard, laptop.
What?
Didn't take the trash out yesterday, but
well,
they did bug out of here before the trash got taken out.
They did. Mitt was pissed.
I still got to do this?
The fuck, dude?
Bullshit.
Fucking snacks.
They're doing great, though. Not as great as Chris Mad Dog Russo does on a microphone. He was on First Take earlier. I'm sure there's fallout from that. That'll follow this 6-minute break. You all are the best. See you in 21 hours. Bye.
Hell yeah.
That was good, man. That was good.
Hey, is Pat Beverly on ESPN all week?
Yeah,
I think so.
Him and JJ just squaring off yesterday was an ESPN
And then
splooge.
Matt Barnes going back at him. Like, ESPN's got a nice thing going on.
Dude, if Pat Beverly, Barnes, and JJ were to somehow get into a debate and you get Greeny and Stephen A there might be a volcanic eruption from the pants of a lot of people at ESPN. They're good. JJ, very good.
Yes.
Pat Beverly in there talking his shit.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, too, by the way, with everything, very good. And then, obviously, Matt Barnes is incredible at what he does. I think they really struck gold over there with some of the basketball talk they got going.
Yeah, I didn't even think about like when a lot of these teams get eliminated, how ESPN's like, all right, who from these teams should we go get? And obviously Pat Bev was the right one.
Well, he's one of the only ones willing to like be as
Mix
open
it up.
and honest as he is.
True.
How do you feel about like people going on to things that have been burying them?
Like someone going on a show where, like, say Stephen A's been killing you, and you go on there.
Yeah, and it's like
I'm okay with. I like it.
Yeah.
If you have a plan, I guess, or you are aware and you know everything. I don't. Why? Who's done that recently?
I don't know. It feels like that's becoming a trend that people are doing. It's like, and the internet loves it, obviously. Like, oh, the first time these two chat, and it's like a good thing or whatever. Like, at some point, I assume LeBron and Skip are going to have a full show.
I don't know.
KD.
You think?
Yeah, like, I don't know if KD will.
I don't think anything will get worked out there, though. You?
No, everybody kind of just starts. Okay.
You dap up right away. And
Yeah,
that's
it's like
kinda
a
the end of it.
full pass thing.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't pay a whole lot of attention. The only one I can think of is when Richard Sherman went on there. Did he go after Skip?
Oh, yeah, I don't remember.
Back in the day, that was like the famous one to me.
When Jim Everett went on Rome.
Well, that.
Yeah. Well, Romy isn't backing down from anyone. No.
Just got another DM from Rome, by the way. Fucking brother.
Let's go.
I got to answer that. Why have I not?
Ask him when the fucking smack off is this year.
All right, I will.
Bet I do.
You're like OG, right?
Oh, yeah. I love Rome.
I just sent back a brother.
Nice.
So we have 4 messages back and forth to each other, brother. My brother, fucking brother. Me and Jim are right now. What an OG in the game, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. He's a big horse guy, big horseman.
Can we do a crossover show?
Oh. He's live, what, same time as us?
Same time as us, yeah.
That's a bummer.
I mean, that video
Crossover
of him
show.
breaking down the Scott Stapp day
All time.
opening game was
All time.
one of the best clips I've ever heard.
Oh, yeah. And if you go back through the library, there are 15,000 clips like that. I mean, if you're in a bad mood, you go down a Jim Worm rabbit or Jim Rome
wormhole.
Yeah, wormhole on fucking YouTube.
Oh, say that like 5 times.
Yeah, Jim Rome wormhole.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. But yeah, I've gotten lost down those and just 4 hours gone.
Got to view everything as wrestling. You know, everything's wrestling. Life is wrestling. Life is a movie. Everybody's a character. If you don't like their character, don't take them serious.
Clowns.
Like other characters.
Mhm.
Rome was a full-on sports character. And everybody had every impersonator had a Rome. Every team, everybody knew Rome. He's
before there were characters though in the media world.
Sure.
Almost.
And by the way, I don't think he was acting as anything other than himself because I went to lunch with him, and as I was sitting in lunch with him, me and him eating great steak.
Yeah.
And it was a
Ooh.
great steak. As he was talking, I was thinking to myself, like, God damn, you were like this all the time. Like the way he spoke, the pauses, the times, the questions he asked. I'm like, this is amazing. What a legend, dude. What a fucking legend. The internet just envious of, CBS Sports refusing to put him on the map anymore. I thought he did a subscription. This is how much respect I had for Rome. I thought Rome said, fuck it, I'm doing a subscription service just for my listeners. And he'd been raking in subscriptions from his, his people or whatever. I don't know, what do you guys call it? No, clones? No,
The clones.
The clones or whatever. I thought he was doing that.
This fucking guy.
Well, just
he fucking didn't want to show respect for Jim Rome.
Wow.
AJ hates Jim Rome.
That was despicable.
Because I didn't really hear from him anymore. I felt like he just probably owned all his own stuff, went to his own network. That was not the case. He went to CBS Sports. And nobody even
for
sees it.
a long time there, like he was the backbone of like Fox Sports Radio, like his show. And then I think when that was done, I think CBS came on and gave him a fucking massive deal.
AJ?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
You don't like Jim Rome?
Wow.
I was just gone all of a sudden.
That's probably because what we talked about earlier and what you all were
Yeah.
so happy to have on this program.
Well,
A lot of super jacked faces. This one, that one, Tone for sure.
happy.
That
For
one,
UFO talk?
for sure. That one,
No, I have to
Way
rebuttal.
for-
I have
Grinning like
been
the
very
butcher's dog.
positive lately.
Yeah, no,
I
you
have
haven't.
I have been.
I saw your face as soon as Gallagher started speaking. There was a twinkle in the paintman's eyes. His eye, like, oh, here we go,
John
John.
Cena is a Marine, as far as I know.
See,
Well, he is. Right?
that was a personal
He's
thing.
a fraud.
Well,
no, he's
Gallagher did say,
No, we don't. He said that they're going to look into aliens and UFOs.
yes.
No reason for us to get into that guy's world.
But he was pissed that Cena played the Marine in the movie, and then he bowed down to Taiwan and
No, he
did
didn't
his
bow down to Taiwan. He bowed
bow
down
down
to
to
China.
Communist China.
Talk about
He bowed
Either
down.
way.
Talk about a
Fucking
war
even know.
hero,
Neither do
dude.
I, by the way. We shouldn't even be.
Yeah, I mean, still.
Also, might need Gallagher at some point.
Hell
you know?
yeah.
Let's get to a break for about 21 hours or so. What's that? Winning Wednesday. Yeah. Run that to end here to end the show.
Oh, yeah.
Winners announced from all of the giveaways that we've had the last week.
Oh, yeah.
Did anybody go through the Twitter and Instagram for Sunday? No. Those will be announced tomorrow. There
But
it
the
is.
interns.
Well, yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah, that's basically what just happened there. Mitt's going to have to show him how to do that.
Is one of them gone
Bruce
on
does
Friday
it.
already?
I know Bruce might have done
Bruce does all of it. Did Bruce do the Instagram and Twitter hockey Game
yeah, they're
7
in here.
Sunday?
They're in here.
Game
Yeah.
7 Sunday are?
Yeah.
Atta baby,
Hey,
Bruce!
Bruce!
Thank you,
Guys
Bruce.
on
That's
top of
huge, man. That's awesome news. All right, so all the winners will be announced here as soon as we get out of here. AJ, thank you for your time today. You were incredibly toxic today.
No, I was not, but thank you. It was good. I had fun on the program today. It was we have a lot of range, I feel like, over here.
What you do?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
People call us shallow, though. We're a wide pool,
Uh-huh.
not a deep pool. That's
Not a
all right.
deep pool.
Like a sandbar.
Yeah, we are. We are a sandbar
Yeah.
of shows.
Sandbars are the best. though.
Everybody's looking for them.
Yeah. That's right.
Here you are. Sandbar shows.
So
Toxic
awesome.
Table. You guys are great for the sandbar.
Love the
sandbar.
As are you, Tone. Everybody in the back, thank you for all your hard work. All our guests today, thank you. # PMS Sandbar. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.